Okay, we should be live now. I hope that the music has been working, because I didn't check. But it's too late now. I've committed. It's fine. I have the Xenoblade playlist running. Stop pulling up Spotify.
I'm gonna listen to the music too.
You're gonna listen to your own music?
Hello, everybody.
It has? Oh, good. Alright, I'm glad to know that. Normally I check, and I kind of realized right now that I didn't do that. So that was dumb. I was trying to pull up the good D&D playlists, but Spotify hates me. So it hasn't been working. So we're just gonna listen to Xenoblade music, because that's what we're gonna do.
That's pretty
Hello,
good.
flares. Hello, following. Welcome to whatever this is. I'm just gonna switch it to my little cute banner here, and we can all have a nice chat. To be honest, I just, what is it? Is it Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, right?
Today is Wednesday, yes.
It's been a long week. It's been 3 days. I'm super tired.
Those big 3 days.
And, wow, I'm choking. You're very upset that you can't sue the devil. Oh, so you aren't gonna sue, you don't need our legal advice anymore?
Your GM has said no suing the devil.
But one of us got the right solution to the issue. That's something that was in my, my Discord that Flares was talking about.
Did you go over his head to a fucking pit fiend saying that this guy's a bitch? Because that'll probably get him demoted.
Probably. Wait, let's see what it's gonna play next. I should just have...
I'm sure if you, like, sacrifice a baby to make contact with, like, if you Karen it and talk to his manager, that's the worst thing in the world for a devil. They're lawful evil. They live in a very structured...
It was an archdevil's in the arm? What? I don't know what thing you mean by that. I think there may have been a typo in there and meaning was lost. Or I'm just dumb. That's definitely true. I don't think I can Karen the Archdevil.
Oh,
you can Karen anyone if you try hard enough.
An Archdevil tried to weasel their way out of a contract. That's...
D&D be crazy sometimes.
Interesting.
Normally, I think they just...
most of the time they would rather kill themselves than try to weasel their way out of contract. But they would follow the letter of the contract and be like, well, you didn't say I couldn't kill you. So I'm gonna do that.
Alright, do both of us sound okay, by the way? Do I need to scoot the mic closer to one or the other of us? Because it's kind of in the middle of us right now. Oh no, they're trying to kill me and take the body.
Okay, alright. That sounds on the level. That sounds reasonable.
Okay, so I figured we could... I had a couple question requests from people in the Discord for you,
right.
Of course. So I figured we could start with those. I have to get them. Okay. And I didn't write down any names attached to these, so I'm sorry. This is probably a good one to start with, and I feel like you may have answered this on the last stream, but we could talk about it again.
Sure.
Because it's something that we talk about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is when you're planning a session, how much of it is planning and how much of it is improv.
I think, that's a subjective question that you need to answer for yourself. If you're asking for me personally, I have spent so long developing my, homebrew world. I use a homebrew world, not a module. So I've spent so long doing this that it's gotten to the point that I can make stuff up on the fly pretty easily. And I just need to take notes as I'm saying things, because I need to keep track of my own words. So a lot of times I don't plan out sessions that aren't going to be, boss encounters. But if it's, a dungeon, I will plan out dungeons a little bit. I'll be like, this room has this in it. And then hyperlink, stat blocks for monsters. And it's going to be like, alright. For example, the part is, in here, there's 4 chimeras and 4 mind flares. And there's buttons on the wall that release them, because they're in cryotubes. I hyperlink the chimera stat block and the mind flare stat block. And so that way I don't have to look things up while I'm DMing the best I can. I prefer not to have to Google things while I'm DMing, but I do a ton. Every time I start with 3 or 4 tabs open, I end up with about 40. Because that's just the way it works. Somebody says, I'm going to cast a spell, and I don't have that spell memorized off the top of my head as the GM, so I got to Google that spell to see that it's on the up and up, and they're not Trying to pull a fast one.
Please. As if we would do that.
No. Most of the time, they do know what's going on. Most of the time, I have to look up a spell. It's like, oh, I don't know that spell. That's interesting. Oh, yes. The D10,000 Wild Magic table, for those that don't know, the net library of magical effects, is amazing. I use this for all sorts.
Someone subbed, and it's loud.
Alright.
For me. So, hey, hope you're both doing alright and staying safe. I can't stay long, but wanted to wish you both the best. Thank you, Segway. That's so sweet of you. Have you played AI the Somnium Files? Adrian tipped me off. It's very Ace Attorney Danganronpa. Yes, I have, but I haven't finished it. It's by the people who did, Zero Escape, I believe. And so I've played, like, half of it, probably. Yeah. It's a little Ace Attorney Danganronpa in how witty the writing is, but, yeah, it's very much related to Virtue's Last Reward, Zero Time Dilemma. I love it, I just haven't had time to go back to it. I finished, I think, like, the left half of the timelines, but I did get locked out of one of them, so I have to go back and do it. But yes, no, it's okay. Don't apologize for interrupting. It was just very loud in my ears, and I don't know how loud it was for everyone else, so I didn't want to talk over it. No worries. Okay, what were you talking? Oh God, don't pull up that table.
Just pulling up the good table.
It's not a good. It is a good table sometimes, not all the time. Not last session. I was real mad.
What happened last session?
Last session was when we were on the boat, and one of the dwarf clerics directed the wild magic surge at me.
Oh yes.
Because apparently it's a meme now, and I got hooves instead of hands for 24 hours.
Yes.
Which would have been a real impediment if we
weren't traveling for a full day and a half.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't have been able to do anything. The boss they fought had its ears catch on fire.
Very fun. There are lots of ones that are minor cosmetic. A couple of them are truly catastrophic, and most of the ones in between are the ones that are closer to an actual wild magic surge, like fireball centered on the user. But sometimes it's like target turns to stone. Ooh.
Ooh.
And sometimes it's being silly where the person's trying to shape water and they're trying to stop a tidal wave from hitting a city, and it turns to stone. Tidal wave keeps moving, by the way. It's just rock now. That happened in one of my games.
So were you just handstand walking for a while then? No, I was basically just sulking for about 24 hours.
However, her BF wizard polymorphed his hands into hooves.
Which did not make me feel better because I was like, great, now you're also useless.
Yeah.
Like,
mutual suffering makes everything better.
Yeah, okay.
So that was cute. And, yeah. Party's about to go and fight a boss fight.
We are. We can talk about that later, though. Mostly because I know you're not going to tell me anything, and your D&D character is both the luckiest and unluckiest living creature. No, that's me.
Yeah, so Lei got, from a Wild Magic Surge, Wings Forever.
Wings Forever.
So she gets a fly speed now.
It's great. I love it.
She also is Mrs. Fantastic, where she can bend and do backflips and stuff because her bones are made of rubber. So she's very bendy.
It's great.
All sorts of silly things have permanently changed Soleil into a monstrosity.
I'm a fucking monstrosity.
You
don't unintentionally doom the party and NPCs by trying to do good things.
I mean,
That's just part of the game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like,
God, this song is fucking
They gave a powerful artifact to a worshipper, one of the primary worshipers of an incredibly evil god.
Okay, look. That's not entirely fair.
It is simply a statement of facts.
We didn't know everything.
Correct. They did not know everything because the evil woman was very good at... she was very bad at hiding the fact that she was evil, but... The party just really wanted that wish, so...
They needed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
No.
That's fun. It happens.
Okay, here's another good question that someone had, which I think actually you could talk about what you did last session.
Sure.
Is how you help players feel included. in your world.
This is an actual, genuine struggle that all DMs have, regardless of how experienced you are. This is something that's very important for games, but also something that's very difficult to consistently happen. A lot of times what ends up happening, and this is fine, by the way, is you'll have a very small plot arc or just even just like an RP arc type thing, where one character is sort of the main character of their own sort of plot arc. Hello, Bothier.
Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it. Is this super loud for everyone else? Do I need to reset that again? Because it's super loud for me. And I don't know why.
Might be your own personal volume mixer.
It doesn't run through that. No, it's alright. Okay, well for me, it's freaking deafening. So...
Just move the headphone off of your face.
Damn it, Twy.
Perfect.
Did you hear me saying that and decide, or was it just actually time? I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for the sub. 35 months. Way too long. Stop it. Lower OBS in your volume mixer.
That's what I thought. So, if you, so while you figure that out, you can probably click up here.
No, I can't, not while this is running.
Rip, never mind. I was just thinking that words.
Oh, hang on.
Time exists, it does.
Time exists, thank you. Thank you, Flares.
Train of thought has left the station.
Players feeling included.
Players feeling included, so sometimes... The fact that you're trying to pay attention to that is important, because that means that you're aware that's something that needs to happen. That's the first step. Knowing that that is one of the most important parts of D&D. Make sure each individual player feels that them individually plays a part in the role, unless you have a more than 6-player campaign. If you have a campaign that's like 6+ players, it's really hard to make each individual player feel included. In that circumstance, you just want the whole party to become famous. Gaining fame, or infamy in certain cases, is a great way for the party to feel like they're interacting with the world, because people will know them. If they walk into a bar and they're like, oh hey, you guys are the guys who did this thing. You killed that dragon that was tormenting that town. We've heard of you. That's something that immediately gets you invested in what's happening.
Let's gifting more subs. Probably
Perfect.
Just to get that hype train up.
Oh
yeah. Thank you.
Individual players, so recently some real examples. We had one of my players want to like build a chapel to their god, so he went and, we RP'd out him casting a very high level spell to just spawn a church in the middle of this
it was great.
In the middle of this city, and it starts floating around because it's a chapel to the sky god. So it's very Howl's Floating Castle style. And inside, they got to create a portal to the elemental planet Air, where he got to talk to his in-laws, because he's married to an air genie. That's just something that, I thought, okay, he's actively trying to participate with the world and do this cool thing, and probably doesn't expect a whole lot to happen, but it's a fun thing to just, have some old NPCs come back and interact with the player. And having those individual rapports is probably something that a lot of NPCs have in your individual games. When a certain NPC is like best friends with the character, having them show up occasionally is very fun for that character. It makes them feel included, makes them feel like they're part of the world.
Or sometimes you just hijack NPCs to join your party and you can't say anything about it because we love them.
That's true. Sometimes they kidnap NPCs and it's fun.
Kidnapping is a strong word. We asked. And she said she wanted to come.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, I was thinking of Olivia. I guess Cedric. We didn't kidnap him.
So neither of those, I would say, are really kidnapped. You went on side quests to gain...
To get them.
Yeah. Something that my party has done in the past is they go on side quests to gain permanent NPCs into the party, which I think is very fun as a DM. I think it's a very cool reward, and it makes everyone feel, like, invested in these characters, because... Then I get to threaten their lives, and they get to panic. And it's a lot of fun for everyone. What else? There's, every character has in-world motivations, and if they don't, you need to make sure they do. as the DM, you have to tell everybody going into a campaign, and if you've already started a campaign, then you don't have to, but you should sit everyone down and be like, what does your character want? Give me an actual short-term goal that he wants to complete. Like, overthrow a governor of a city that his family lives in because they screwed over his family. Or start a church in the 4 biggest cities on the continent. Those are both short-term goals because they're easily realizable in the active campaign. These are things that you can actually do. Once you get these short-term goals going and in your mind, everyone in the party should be aware that these party members have these short-term goals. You should talk about it in character. Talk about how you want to make these things happen.
I'm notorious for not doing this.
She does not have this, but instead she decided to romance an NPC, which is fine. That also
Shut
counts.
up! It wasn't a decision.
Yeah, alright.
It just happened.
So yeah, romancing an NPC, also great short-term goal. I have a character in another campaign whose sole short-term goal was becoming immortal. He got that, and then now it's just, I want to romance this NPC. Which is very fun.
All I want to know if starting a church is actually short-term.
So...
Short-term is relative.
Short-term's relative. It's something that can happen in the course of a campaign. And I like to run campaigns in the sort of, I hand-wave things that I think everyone would be bored listening to. And sort of operate it as, alright, in the real world, you wouldn't have to deal with this. So as heroes, you don't have to deal with this. Like, go to the town and, say they want to start this church, you go to this big city, well, you've got to get a permit for that. You've got to get, a plot of land, and you've got to get the governor to sign off on building a church in his city. Because what if he doesn't like that god? You got to clear it with him. You can't just go around sprouting buildings out of nowhere. Unless you can, in which case, okay. You run your game your way. But I would say, okay, these are the 2 things you need. Literally just the land and authorization from the government. Those are 2 fun RP sessions you can have. One of them is more challenging than the other. Getting the actual land is just finding a dilapidated sort of house and talking the owner into, 500 golds and a nice plot of land on a farm somewhere and paying some laborers to go build a house for him out there. Like, buy an old man out of his house and it could be a fun little experience. Talking to the governor might be, you go up to the governor and he's like, alright, I'll let you build a church in my town, but, see, here's the thing. I've got a problem with some cryohydras that have been attacking my farmers nearby. And normally these permits would take quite a while, but if you deal with those things, I'd be willing to expedite them and even get you guys some, hook you guys up with some very excellent builders. They go on this mini side quest, kill some monsters, get some loot maybe. Maybe some of the people these hiders have killed had some loot on their corpses and they could steal that shit. And then they go back to the town. The governor's happy. They did a heroic thing. They're getting famous. People are talking about them. And then you get these builders to be like, yeah, we're going to start building a church. And since we have magic, fabricate is a spell, I think, in 5e. But even if it isn't, hand wave it and say, yeah, there are some builder mages that have devoted their lives. They're level 1, but they've devoted their lives into the crafting of bricks. So they can brick your church up in a week. Time skip, and then say, alright, what do each player, I like to do this a lot actually, whenever there's a major quest or major combat session, I'll usually have everyone go into a large town and be like, alright, you all have some downtime to do some fun things. The party breaks up a minute.
Sessions.
Yeah. So the party breaks up or pairs off, etc.
Stupid bullshit.
And it's like, alright, what do you, and I go around the table in a circle, what do you do during your downtime? And everyone kind of gets the vibe of like, alright, this is going to take, an hour or so I'll try to take like 10 minutes maximum. And then they're just like, can I buy some scrolls? Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I want to go visit, my daughter's bakery and talk to her for a little bit. And have a wholesome moment and everyone's happy, and then I move on to the next person. Then at the end of all of that, they get to have some fun RP, and their church is built. Bing! Got one thing right off the bat. Now everyone knows them, and they can hire some deacons of their god, which should be available, I imagine, to run their church in the absence, because they don't have time to run a church, but I'm sure some clerics would be happy to. And then you leave.
Has this happened before, or did you just make all that up?
I just made all that up.
Okay. Cool.
I know that sort of thing is not easy for some newer DMs to come up with. If that seems scary, like ad-libbing all of that, you can plan that. For example, like, I had an encounter like that just recently with the party. There was a cleric of Damacor, Earth Lord of Law. He's the god of the earth. Quested this player to go and complete 7 dangerous trials upholding peace and justice in the multiverse. He then completed, he did so, and had a fun little encounter planned where a giant robot came out of a wall as the party was sucked into an underground cave.
It was terrifying. We thought we were
and
gonna
he
die.
got to have a little speech congratulating this cleric in a very brisk and unemotional manner, but he's doing his best for a robot.
He had confetti. He did fine.
Yeah, he pulled out some party poppers, and then, told the party that if they completed one more final task, they would get a wish, each individually, from the god of law. So long as he cleared it first. He would vet all these wishes.
And what he's asking us to do is something we were gonna do anyway, but
Exactly.
we're not telling him that.
Exactly. And, he knew that. But this is something that, the god agrees that what you're doing here is a good thing. You want to banish an evil influence in the material plane. Good job. I'll grant each of you a wish if you actually
Pretty
manage to
dope.
do that without, getting murdered. That's probably more likely, but I'd like a motivation here.
Well, we didn't adopt him, but we can summon him one time during a battle to come fight for us.
Yes. If the cleric successfully uses divine intervention, very low % chance of it happening. I believe it's right now 16,
Yeah, I
14
think so.
or something.
That should be right.
If he hits that, he can pick to summon this Modron. I believe he is a Marut Inevitable, CR25 giant
dope.
monstrosity. These things are bosses in their own right. But I thought that would be... this is a long-running personal quest for this character. He's been actively participating, being like, oh, hey, so I have these 7 things. I was banished from my hometown for breaking the law, and they're really hard asses about the law. So, since I was banished, I got these 7 things. I want to complete them. And, every time the party accomplished a major thing that was good in the world, he got a letter from his town being like, that was one of them. Good job. You killed a lich that was killing a whole bunch of civilians. That's upholding peace right there. Keep at it. And, he hit 7 just recently, so he got a badass reward. Makes sense.
We all did. It was awesome.
In hindsight, I probably should have had, checkpoint rewards at, 3 and 5, but that's not something I really thought about until just now. So learn from my mistakes. Checkpoint rewards for long-running quests should be a thing. The party builds this church and they want to establish 4 of them in the nation. Maybe once they've built the second one, an angel comes down or some servant of this god to tell them, hey, good job. You guys are doing awesome stuff, because not only are you doing these side quests for the governors and, helping out people, you're doing so in the name of God and establishing churches. You're doing nothing but purely amazing things. Here's this cool sword that this ancient saint had. He's up in heaven now, so he doesn't need it. Here you go. That'd be a very fun, relic to get. And, some, unique thing. It could be, a sentient, staff that, has a very fun, personality, but then sometimes it's a stick in the mud if the party's considering doing something underhanded or sneaky. He won't stop them, but he would be like, are we sure that we should be forcefully interrogating this guy? Can't we just, use magic to make him tell the truth, and if he doesn't want to, then let him go on his way? We have other ways to do this. Here's something, a gentle hand on their shoulder to be like, hey, this is a lawful good item that's trying to help you out. Or something. That's, that's very church-related, etc. For completing these 7 marvelous quests, this cleric got, and the whole party got the ability to cure charm effects by slapping people. Very neat.
I'm not gonna say that we really needed that, but we really needed that.
A bad guy who's trying to change for the better. That's actually something you should talk So if that's the thing for your character, these are mostly advice things that I'm giving it from like the GM's perspective. But if you have a player that's like that, I would have a sort of like, let's say, for example, you're like a warlock to an evil deity, but you're trying to become a better person because you made this pact back when you were young, and that was a poor decision. Maybe a deity of redemption shows up, like Sarenrae, or is it one of the gods of just like forgiveness arrives. Doesn't have to be a very powerful god; just has to be in the upper pantheon. And just shows up, or has one of her angels show up and be like, "Hey, I see what you're doing. Keep it up, because right now you're still like on the edge between light and darkness. But if you keep going, maybe after you die, you're not utterly doomed to damnation, because we're gods. We can make exceptions." And for some characters, that would be a cool little moment. Some characters would be like, "Oh, this is weird." It really depends on the character. That would be something I'd sort of reach out for a character who's like, I would like to eventually change patrons. Like, that would be a cool character moment. So it's like, eventually you might become a celestial, or they might grant you a divine sword that makes you a hexblade, or something like that, but reflavor it to a lot of like divine magic, granting you magic through the sword. So yeah, a lot of including players is just balancing party general motivations with small individual things that characters can do that make them happy. If a character wants to do something by themselves and like wants to just actively walk away from the party to do these things without prompting, that's something you need to probably talk to the player about and the party about to see if the party's cool with it. Generally, I don't like it when people just go off and do their own thing. But in order to appease the people that do kind of like doing that, I do the occasional RP sessions where everyone goes off and does their own thing specifically, and then when you're not doing that, the party stays together. That's just kind of a rule that I don't have to explain a lot at the table, but I have had to explain before. And yeah. That's generally how you include players.
I think one of the other questions that someone had that I thought was interesting was how someone wanted to know how to structure fun combat sessions without having to do a... Let me actually find this one, because I don't think I did a good job.
I think I read this one.
Yeah, did you read this one from
Fun combat sessions without, or like interesting combats without weird mechanics.
Steps taken to ensure fun combats without adding a whole bunch of extra mechanics and without making the group RP stuff. Oh, you thumbs this up, that's why.
Right. That's a good question. That's one thing that's very important as a GM is to keep combat from being the moment where it's like, oh, this is boring. I don't know if I'm speaking for you with this, but I think one of the more fun combat sessions was the fight against the Archlich.
Oh, absolutely.
Having more mechanics during a combat session isn't bad. What's necessary is that the party fully knows the mechanics of the combat going in. And whether that's through, like, a very small puzzle that they learn previously, that you establish, or if it's straight up meta-knowledge. Regardless of how you set it up, the party needs to fully understand the mechanics of how the game works before going into the combat. Like, everyone rolls initiative, and then you're like, okay. So I'll give you my own personal example. I have two, actually. Like, okay, here's the map. You see that there's a glowing ball at the center of this ice pyramid. You see there's a whole bunch of zombie guards guarding this glowy ball. The glowy ball seems to be erratically giving off beams of light. They're cutting through these zombies and occasionally bouncing off of these mirrors that some of these zombie mages are trying to bounce the light beams into this shadowy darkness scar that's above the light beam.
Oh, right. This is the one I was going for.
This is one where the party didn't know... I
don't remember this.
I didn't tell the party what this ritual would do if they completed it. However, I did say, if they successfully, bounce these mirror beams into that shadow, it's a DC 20 Arcana check. That means they each have a +4. I tell them all of this. They each have a +4. So they need a 16. Unlikely. Since there's 2 at every mirror, they're giving each other the help action, and they're essentially readying actions. So they all move at once, and they ready their actions in case a light beam hits their mirror. So then at that point, I roll with advantage, and if a light beam gets reflected in the mirror, bad things start happening. And then I tell the party, if it hits 5, something bad will happen. If it's 10, something catastrophic will happen. Your job right now is to
Prevent
do whatever you'd like, but
we all know what it really is.
Right. You have to stop this ritual from happening. And in this setup, there are a lot of moving parts. I didn't think of all of the ways that they could stop the ritual. I simply set it up in a way that there are many holes in this plan. Ordinarily, let's say if there's no party running in to stop this ritual will go off pretty much without a hitch. They just have to wait for the light beams to hit their mirrors, and eventually they'll bounce enough light beams into this shadow scar and open up a gateway to Shadowfell. Hooray, we did it. However, the party's jumping in. Party can either start shooting at the zombie mages that are doing the mirrors, make it so they stop having advantage, make it so they don't even have to have a check against these mirrors. One of the party brought up a huge gust of wind that made it harder to control the mirrors. I immediately, no checks. I was just like, that's a good idea. They have disadvantage so long as you maintain the wind on those mirrors. And the party member was like, awesome. Creative solutions were great. One of the druids spawned 2 octopi that inked on the mirrors. And I'm like,
amazing.
Those mirrors, the guys are going to have to take their action to clean those mirrors off. That fully, while the octopus is on it, they fully can't do anything. That was a great idea. Someone's like, alright, let's start destroying the mirrors. I had the mirrors AC in the health, and they were vulnerable to thunder damage because it's an object. They break one, they're like, alright, this is not efficient. They're a bit too hardy, let's just kill the mages, which were squishier. Then one part was like, oh, I can just remove the orb. Let's get rid of that. So they split up, and they started trying a whole bunch of different ways to stop this ritual, and eventually managed to get the orb into a bag of holding where it stopped giving off light beams, and the ritual's halted. This entire time, a whole bunch of ghouls and zombie mages, and essentially the zombie mages who had their mirrors destroyed suddenly started shooting cantrips at the party. The zombies that were guarding the light orb punched people. And they had to deal with a lich who was actively murdering them that entire combat.
How much of this was planned?
That whole thing, that whole setup, all that was planned. Boss fights, I do take the time to plan it out, map it out, stat the minions. I was like, alright, there's going to be 9 mirrors, and, they has to get 9 in, or he has to get 5 in and 10 in to have bad things happen. I wrote down what the things were, had the liches statted, the mages statted, everything was statted, everything was perfect for this boss fight. What wasn't planned is how everything reacts to the party's interference. All that is very ad-libbed, and I feel like most GMs should be comfortable with, it's like, okay, you don't have to do what I'm telling you to do. And I prefer not telling them to do anything. Like, the party could walk away. That's something that often I allow in a lot of circumstances. You could leave. Bad things are going to happen if you do, but running away and not dying might be the better option between staying and losing. So that's sometimes something I have to consider of, this isn't something we can win. And I had a party that actually ran up against that. They had to go and assassinate a dragon prince, who is also a high-level spellcaster. They go up, they have a really hard fight, they're both almost dead, everyone in the party's almost dead. They kill the dragon, and a wizard rips himself out of the dragon's body, who had been possessing the dragon the whole time. Party was like, well, we cannot fight him. Let's grab as much loot as we can and run away. And that's exactly what they did. The wizard tried to chase them, but was promptly kicked in the face and was left reeling because he's a wizard. And the party ran away. And they got a 7 out of 10 for their objectives, and they eventually went back and fucked that guy's shit up. But running away should be something that is okay. So that's one of my favorite encounters. another encounter that I set up, again, all of this was pre-planned, was there's like some bone golems and skeleton golems, and there's an archlich trying to pull a Vecna and turn himself into a god. Oh no, stop it. Party gets to his big door, right? This is also a little, like, lesson on puzzles. I usually have puzzles in dungeons that I make relate to the boss fight.
That's fair.
Yeah, sometimes
Sometimes you can't leave.
Sometimes you can't leave.
Sometimes you physically can't leave.
Yeah,
sometimes... the encounter we're going to have on Monday.
Hey, there's a teleportation circle, and you guys could teleport out at any moment. Right. You turned off the teleportation block. Look, it's not my fault if you choose to stay.
Oh, I absolutely will. I'm not going anywhere.
So they go to... I like having puzzles relate to the boss fight, especially if it's the door to the boss room. Meta, this is stupid. It's something that it doesn't make sense, but it's always a fun one just because the party gets to start the combat scenario with information that you don't even have to tell them. That makes them feel smart. That's good. Anytime you can make the party feel good about what's happening, you're doing your one and only job at DMing. Make the party happy. It's to have a good time. And you should be having fun too, but that's what fulfills me as a DM, is seeing everyone have a good time. So, they go up to the door, and in my world, there are the magical schools are color-coded. So there was this color wheel, and they had to identify which schools of magic opposed each other. And they actually had to sit down and be like, fuck, alright.
We had to map it all out.
And they mapped it out, and they're like, alright, so this one opposes this, and it's a full color wheel, and they got the rainbow, and they were like, alright, so
Meanwhile,
now we know...
my non-spellcaster rogue was like, fuck this.
Right, you're sitting there like,
I'm sitting there like, I'm totally trained in Arcana and could help right now, but I won't.
Right. And it's the type of thing where, they walk up, there's a wizard in the party, and they see this color wheel of 8 colors on the wall. The cleric immediately recognizes these as the holy colors of the Pantheon of 8, my homebrew god system. The wizard instead recognizes them as the color wheel of magic. There's a reason why those are the same in my world. Exactly, that's a very good idea. Having a potion puzzle showing you the boss's weakness is something that I've done before as well. So they go up and they line up this color wheel, and they're like, alright, we figured out that evocation opposes, alchemy, etc., etc. Or alchemy was also necromancy.
I was like...
Yeah.
What?
And they're like, okay, so this is cool, and they line it up, and puzzle solved. Door opens, and I show them the map of the fight on Roll20 in this circumstance. I fully built it. There is the same color wheel of magical orbs around a huge magic circle in the center, where the Lich has made himself immune to all damage. He's put up like a force wall.
Super cool.
And he's doing a ritual. He's got a whole bunch of minions that run up and start trying to murder you. And you see in the background, a whole bunch of skeleton mages start coming out with scrolls and start casting them on these orbs. What the party had to do is they had to cast spells of the opposing school on each of the orbs, and stop the skeletons from casting spells on the correct school on the orbs. So, red was evocation. The skeletons were trying to cast firebolt on that little red orb, and that would cause it to activate. If an orb activated 3 times, it exploded, and that part of the ritual was complete. He needed to get, I believe it was 5 out of the 8.
Yeah.
He had to get a majority. So the party was like, okay, all you have to do is fully destroy 4 of them before they complete. That seems doable. They start running out to try to destroy them, and they see that every time one is destroyed, 2 more skeleton mages come out and start trying to cast these scrolls on the other ones, trying to accelerate the process. It got very down to the wire.
It was so stressful.
I
think it got 4 off.
It was 3 destroyed, 4 had gotten off, and the 5th one was sitting there.
Being hotly contested.
And hotly contested by the boss. At that point, the Lich had to actually actively step in. He was taking his actions to essentially also cast on the orbs. And just start counterspelling each other. Very Magic the Gathering of just, I counter your counterspell. And yeah, party had to essentially stop this ritual. There was, a bit of complex mechanics for sure, but they knew those mechanics going in.
Nothing. We were killing the
Nothing.
mages. They just kept coming.
They just
That
kept
was my
coming out.
sole job.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one pretty much the only one in the party that couldn't cast magic.
Main problem was that there were a lot of them.
There were too many.
There's
I couldn't kill
probably
them all.
12 to 20 skeletons on the board at any given moment, and they essentially were taking their move actions and standard actions to dash to the orbs.
Yeah, so I'm
at
just
that point you had to
standing
peel
on
them
an
off.
orb, trying
before the
to
turn
keep them
came
from
around.
coming, and they just kept coming.
Yeah. And they're very squishy. They had 20 HP and no AC, so it's just alright, you take your action to bash one, but 4 more are coming, so they had to devote some of their actions to killing the mages, some of their actions to destroying the orbs, which would also, occasionally, there was a chance, I think it was a 4 out of 10 chance, that they would just naturally spawn magic on themselves to try to complete the ritual.
I don't remember that.
It was the timers. Remember, I had everyone roll.
We kept friggin' rolling, and it was the most stressful thing.
Yeah, so the ritual was also timed.
He loves that in his boss fights.
I do like having timers in my boss fights. That is something that I think is fun. So in the 8 orbs, I had the party members at certain layer actions roll d8s, and that's when one of the orbs flashed, indicating that it was casting a magic on itself, and then one of the containers on its pedestal would light up. It would be 1 out of 3 complete. I was oh shit. So if they saw one that was 2 out of 3 complete, we gotta fucking destroy that orb right now.
Stressful.
Yeah, very stressful, very fun. Sometimes they got very unlucky where it was just 2 layer actions back to back because of how initiative worked out. An orb fully completed itself.
Yeah, we were oh god.
And just 1, 2, 3 on top of itself because they rolled the same number 3 out of 4 times. And it's just that's pretty complicated, but all of that I explained prior to combat. It's none of this hidden bullshit. It's not only is this happening, I had them roll the d8s. So that way they know that I'm not fucking with them. This is purely up to chance. With the random laser beams firing out towards mirrors, I rolled d10s, or I had the party roll d10s.
Yeah, no, we rolled. Well, you guys did. That was the one I wasn't there for.
Right. Since there were 9 mirrors, if they rolled a 0, the place would shake, and everyone would have to make a strength save, including all the bad guys, or just fall prone. Oh, cool. If they rolled 2 zeros, everyone would make a constitution save or be blinded for a round. Less cool.
Less cool.
So, that happened. It's very unlikely to happen. It's 1 out of 100 chance. And it actually happened, and I was very thrilled.
We weren't.
No, the party was very upset. But, hey, that's how random chance works, and it made me happy.
I remember, because they recorded these for me, because I was at PAX, and I was really bummed that I was missing the session. So they recorded them, and I listened to the entire thing on the plane back from Boston, and was freaking out while on a plane. I'm seeing who the gambler of you two is. Really?
As the DM, I generally don't assign ritual completion to this guy's gonna complete it unless you stop him. It's he's doing his best to complete it. You can fuck with him. You should fuck with him. Because if...
It's heavily implied that you should fuck with him.
If you're given a vacuum, he'd eventually succeed, but he is your timer sometimes. The simplest added mechanic I've ever run that I can remember was a process where a dragon was being turned into a Dracolich. This was the party wanted to go...
This was stupid.
Go just kill a dragon. They were spontaneously
It was not my idea.
Fuck whatever we're doing right now.
It was one person's idea.
Let's go kill a dragon. And they did some research in the library and found out there was a dragon that was ruling over a tribe of lizard folk in the forest, way off fucking far away. But they knew where they were, so let's go kill him. No doubt he's got some stuff. So...
Is that really your only motivation?
Yes.
And by R, I mean Tom's?
Yes.
Okay.
You just wanted to go kill a dragon. So of course I managed to work that into the meta-narrative, because...
Oh, yeah.
That's
Jeez, how rude.
Yeah.
Listen, it wasn't my idea.
So I made the dragon instead a disciple of one of the major villains of the campaign that then became the main villain of the campaign.
It was not a major villain up to that point. That is the basically sole reason she decided to start fucking with us.
Yeah, so they made an enemy that day. But they go to this dragon
Another
encampment. They talk to some lizard folk. All the lizard folk are weird. Some of them are sick. It's weird. Let's leave. They go to the dragon encampment and see that the dragon's living in a pool of acid. It's a black dragon. They knew that going in. It's living in a swamp. Of course it is. And they see that there is a chained down phoenix, full phoenix, in the mud next to this acid pool with a huge necromancy rune that has been carved into the earth and burned into place, almost like a kiln fire, or magic, which it was, had like baked this rune into place in the mud. So they're like, okay, well that looks sus as fuck. They then saw an evil statue of a bigger dragon come alive and start talking to this black dragon.
Very scary.
Being like, you're almost done. Just a little bit more and you'll turn into a Dracolich. Good job, buddy.
I'm pretty sure everyone except Tom failed the check.
Oh yeah, they all had to make a wisdom saving throw against her frightful presence because they could see her and were within 1,000 feet. And those that failed were paralyzed.
Yeah, can we just 1,000 feet? Can we talk about that?
She big bad. Literally big. And after that, it was never they were going to fight this thing. That was never on the table. She then went back to her pedestal and turned back into a statue. Because she can do that, apparently. Black Dragon's like, cool, alright. Mages start the ritual to turn me into a Dracolich now. And some of these lizard folk mages stumble out of the forest and start casting some magic. Then I had everyone roll initiative. At that point, it informed them that these lizard folk rangers had proficiency with Arcana, but no intelligence. So they had a +3 on this ritual check. The check was a 20. I believe it was a 20.
I think it was a 20.
So they had to get 17. Very unlikely. I think they had a +4. I think they had maybe a +1 intelligence. So they get a 16 or higher to complete or start completing this ritual. I said they had to do it 3 times. Currently there were 4 mages at the circle there. They saw 2 more mages walking in from the forest, and 2 more mages are just kind of like standing guard around the dragon pool, and around 25 other just normal lizard folk, CR 1/4, just dicking around, worshipping. Doing the worship.
Worshipping.
So party jumps down, they're immediately like, alright, let's stop this from happening. Once combat starts, lizard folk start doing their ritual. Of the 4 of them, 1 succeeded. So, that's 1 checked off. That's expected value. That makes sense. They immediately murdered all of them. Good.
It was great.
Good work.
That part went really well.
Next turn, it was the lizard folk mages who are coming in from the forest. They run to the ritual circle and do their best. 1 got a 16, so that's another success. Party murdered the fuck out of those 2 and the 2 guards.
Meanwhile, I think I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take out the dragon.
Right. So they just focus on the dragon. Also very important. If they kill him before the ritual starts,
I was like, why are we messing around with it? Like,
then they win.
Just kill the dragon.
So dragons take legendary actions, whacking people, dragging them into the acids, doing dragon
including
things.
Me. That sucked. That sucked a whole lot.
Every time I told them that I'd roll a d4. If I rolled a 1 on the... and that's the reinforcements. That's the layer action, was just more lizard folk run in through this pathway, because they hear their dragon gods being attacked. Oh no, let's go help. If I rolled a 4, it would summon 4 just garbage munchkins. If I rolled a 3, it was 3 garbage munchkins. 2, it was the 2 slightly beefier guys, and 1 summoned a mage. That's bad. So every time I'd roll in from the table and be like, that's a 1, there's a mage running towards the circle.
That's terrible.
And they had to, goal keep these mages, while the fighter's trying to cut the Phoenix loose. Phoenix was unconscious, but they did successfully cut the Phoenix's ropes so that they were able to either heal the Phoenix or drag it out. They hadn't entirely decided, before Soleil killed the dragon.
It was awesome.
All of the lizard folk
super cool.
ran away. Success. But they were still in combat. Initiative was still going.
Which
right
we
after
didn't know.
Soleil, it was the dragon's turn. He made his death saving throw and got a natural 20.
You mean like Phoenix Wright?
Yes, not Phoenix Wright, but that would have been also very funny. For the table, I was using a Pikachu.
Yeah,
as the Phoenix.
on the battle map it was a Pikachu.
And Toothless was the black dragon.
And a giant black dragon.
Phoenix Wright's just, no, don't sacrifice me. Yes, this is the prosecutor dragon.
Oh, that's a completely different dragon.
Completely different dragon.
That does exist.
So, dragon got a natural 20, which those of you at home know that a natural 20 on a death saving throw means that you get your whole turn at 1 HP. You're fully awake. Dragon had a plus 9 to Arcana.
Meanwhile, I'm still on top of the dragon.
Yeah, Desole's still just standing on top of his head.
I was so fucking proud of myself.
So fucking proud of herself.
My first big kill.
Phoenix is still in the ritual circle, still unconscious, but untied. Unfortunately, that didn't really matter because it's still on the ritual circle. Dragon reaches over and slaps the ritual circle, and I roll in front of the table a d20. 50-50. He got like an 18.
Yeah, you rolled real well.
Ritual completes, and they immediately have to fight a full health Dracolich as he fully resurrects as this new boss. No ads at this point, because that would be merciless. If I had the ads come back, I would be a true bastard. Instead, it wasn't actually full health. It was the health bar of the entire Phoenix, which is slightly lower than what his health would have been at full health.
Well, thank God. What's the difference? Do you mean like physically or like stat-wise? Or both?
So a Dracolich is it's an undead dragon. They have a lot of like negative, like necrotic damage. Their breath weapon becomes like black acid that does like necrotic damage. I think it's like half acid, half necrotic, which is neat.
And he used to be totally acid because he was just a normal black dragon.
It does more damage.
Yeah,
their AC goes up, actually. They have their to hit goes up. The Dracoliches are generally stronger and immune to a lot more things.
It sucked.
The benefit was, instead of a full Dracolich health bar, which would have been even harder to kill than a black dragon, it just had the Phoenix's health bar, which was about half of what the Dracolich would have had, slightly lower than the full black dragon. But they still had to fight a full next tier boss at half health immediately after a boss fight.
Luckily, I don't think any of us there were spellcasters. Was it just me and Tom?
It was you, Tom, Maria, and they had Maria and Denise, two spellcaster NPCs, because they were playing me.
Oh, you were playing both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was two marshals in a party with no one else, so they instead hired an arcane and a divine spellcaster to finish the party of 4.
Second phases.
Yep, exactly a second phase. As a DM, I wasn't married to the idea that this ritual completed. It was something that was like, this is something that has a chance to complete. Honestly, probably won't, but there's a chance that it will. Like, I had 4 guys roll at the beginning, and if all of them rolled above 16, which can happen, immediately Dracolich fight, probably at full health, and the party would probably have to run away.
Yeah,
like, that would
we absolutely would not have been. We were not high. We were like probably level 5.
This was I think we were like level 7, level 8 against an adult black dragon, which was like, okay, this is a harder fight. But yeah, very very second phase boss fight, and it's like shit.
Want that.
And they then beat the shit out of him. Soleil got polymorphed into a Triceratops
and cast fly.
Someone cast fly on her,
so
and
I was
she
a flying dinosaur. And
beat the shit out of that dragon.
Shit out of it.
As a flying dinosaur.
It was awesome. So I got a double kill.
Yep, she got to kill it twice. At that point, he disintegrated, and as he was leaving, he said a cryptic phrase about death being only the beginning in Draconic.
Blah, blah, blah,
very,
whatever.
very The Mummy. Party later learned that, oh, wait, he was a Dracolich. That means he's not dead.
He's not dead.
He just respawned somewhere
so
else.
So
like
we have
Voldemort.
someone else out there who probably hates us, but whatever.
Right. Party did some looting, found that there was a very cursed magic box, and when they opened it, big booby trap went off, everyone got covered with magical acid, which then evaporated and teleported somewhere.
Why, what?
Personal vendetta against Sarah is
Why?
probably a bit harsh, but I feel the sentiment. I can understand. Don't personally hold that, but, you know, she's a bitch. That is fair.
I would like to point out that I avoided the acid trap, but because I stupidly got knocked into the acid earlier in the fight, it didn't matter. She was the worst.
She really was a bitch. She gets better over time, if I remember, but in the first movie, she's definitely awful. I didn't like how she was mean to Peakley, or whatever the name of the very small pterodactyl. He was adorable. And
First impressions are the be-all, end-all.
yeah, maybe. She was a bitch. I honestly don't remember. Maybe that was her only defining character
I don't
trait.
remember, yeah.
I do remember that the pterodactyl was the best, and I liked him. Very much a coward and a wiener, but very adorable.
I would know. I wouldn't.
I don't know what this is a reference to.
It's,
Is this Pokemon
Mystery Dungeon,
Yeah. Okay. Probably. That would make sense. Virizion looks like a bitch.
That is just like you, Twi.
Who died and made her queen. Nice. Yep, she's the worst.
I'm sure that black dragon will not come back to haunt us at all.
No.
If that black dragon comes through the portal on Monday, I'm gonna be so mad and also shoot it in the face.
Good to know. Yeah. Verizon.
I know I
The
also
best
read that
Pokemon.
as... it does say Verizon. It says Virizion.
It's Virizion, yeah. I don't know whether it's an E or an I, but
I think it's an I,
awful.
but I definitely read it as Verizon, the first one. But, yeah.
I think Cobalion's the cool looking one, right? The blue one?
The blue one.
Yeah.
Camellian's the blue one, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. I haven't thought about that fight in forever.
Yep, it's been a while.
Why are you reminding me of this? I'm now suspicious.
I'm just saying that these are important fights throughout the campaign, and I've enjoyed them because there was an additional mechanic. I informed the party of the mechanic. The mechanic wasn't unfair. It was very, the chances of it happening were less than 50%. And the more active the party was in negating the ritual, like if Soleil decided to, instead of focus the dragon, fully murder all of the ads, then the ritual
Everyone else
definitely...
is doing that.
Right, but then the ritual would have definitely not happened. But then there's the flip side is then the dragon would have been alive for longer and would have been actively murdering people. It's a flip, sometimes you have to make a calculated risk, but you're putting that risk in the hands of the player. You're making it so it's like, all right, we have 4 people on cleanup duty preventing the ritual. I can start focusing the boss. We do need somebody on that job, or maybe I should start doing this job.
Which is 100% what's going to happen on Monday. We should talk about that.
We could. Have we gotten through all the questions?
I think so, pretty much.
Let's see.
There's another one if you have any pet peeves as either a DM or a player.
I can definitely talk about that
sure
for
if
a
you want to.
while.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Planning versus improv.
Yeah, no, I said that. I did. That was the first one we did.
Another thing I wanted to mention about playing versus improv, just because I gave this advice to a friend who's DMing a game that I am playing in. Don't make custom stat blocks for enemies. Don't do it. It's awful, and it's unbalanced, and it's stupid. Why make a custom stat block when somebody's already done it for you somewhere? Just Google 5e NPCs, and there are lists and lists and lists of homebrew stat blocks that you can just reference, and then in your notes, what you can do is you can have the name of the guy, hyperlink that stat block to his name in your notes. That's what I do.
This is why I'm never going to be a DM.
I then say, looks like, and then describe a character I know from media that my players don't know.
Unless they do.
Unless they do, in which
really
case
awkward.
it's very fun. It's honestly, it's very fun when one player recognizes the media that they're from and goes, oh no, that's bad, guys, because that means he's been thinking about this guy. That happened recently, where I was just like, okay, here's this villainous sort of emperor dude.
You didn't even describe him as villainous.
No, I just he was in a board meeting for villainy.
Well, I mean,
he's in the Legion of Doom. Of course, he's a
yeah,
bad
but you
guy.
described him as a normal-looking dude.
He is a normal-looking human with very, sparkly eyes, but other than that, just normal-looking dude in armor with a hot girl standing next to him,
She was hot.
Showed the party the picture of him that I had hyperlinked in my notes, and one of them immediately recognized it as the Emperor from Knights of the Old Republic, and he's like, "Oh no,
I wish.
that's bad."
That would have made our lives way easier.
Yeah, if you like see, exactly. If I was a DM and I knew my party hadn't played Dark Souls, which I'm pretty sure none of them have, I could be like, yeah, you're gonna fight a dude that's like 11 feet tall, awesome and slick half plate with a full helm on, with this cool blue scarf just torn apart, looks like it's from an older age, and he's got this fucking giant wolf behind him, and show him a picture of Arturius. That's great. And the only thing I'd have hyperlinked for my notes there is a picture that I'm going to show the party. I'll always do that. His name, his stat block hyperlinked, and then I'd write in under my notes, in addition to the stat block, he has this ability.
Drop my sticky.
Oops, sorry. He has, like, the ability to... I actually don't know what Arturius does. I haven't played Dark Souls.
Thankfully, we didn't have to
I just
fight
think he's
him.
very badass. He looks cool, and he has a good dog. So... I can respect that. But I'd probably be like, in addition to being this fighter, battle master, badass NPC, I'm gonna say he has paladin smites, because he's awesome. And just slap that shit on the stat block, and add 2 CR, or something. Yeah, I know that he is... humanoid enemies are notorious in Dark Souls. But that's how we stat bosses, generally. It's a mundane stat block that I make a minor modification to, or if I really want to make a true boss, I just combine 2 stat blocks entirely. Which I've done. That is something that's like, oh, you're gonna fight...
Brando?
Like, yeah, they had to fight... They didn't have to fight this guy.
They know about this one.
Fighting Rio Brando.
They know about this one. This is the one I was yelling about. God, was that almost a year ago at this point? Almost?
Yeah, was never planned. It was a...
But you had him statted.
It was a boss fight that I had statted because I like statting bosses. It's something I enjoy. Rio Brando.
Yes, that's his name. Don't laugh.
That's his name because none of them had even heard of JoJo's. Like, it was Jessica was the only one to be like, that name sounds kind of familiar. And then I showed a picture of...
And I was like, oh.
Just Dio. And she's like, that picture is also...
You guys also fought Dio.
Of course, everyone fights Dio. He's a great villain. And so they show up, and they go out of their way to fuck with this guy.
It was not...
For no good reason.
Only some of us.
They did not.
We did not.
They did not.
He's our friend now.
This guy, I pulled up, I was like, alright, what's an adequate level of power for Dio Brando? I pulled up Strahd's stat block.
Which is another thing I don't want to talk about.
And I combined it with a level 20 monk.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, alright, this is who you're fighting. 'Cause you decided to punch this guy. Fully was like, you picked a fight with something that you fully shouldn't have, and you were aware.
I would like to once again reiterate that none of this was my fault.
And
I was charmed, actually.
You were charmed. At that point, as a general rule, don't TPK. As a DM, there's a lot of things you can do to not TPK players.
I don't know, you got close.
One of them is kidnapping the players and turning them into vampires.
Which is what he tried to do.
Which is what he was intending to do, and the party cut his arms off and tore the players away from him. And he stood there.
TPK is total party kill.
It's when you kill your entire party.
Okay, maybe it's team party kill, but I say total because I think it's dramatic.
It's all the same. The pancake. Yes, don't the pancake your party. It's very, applicable here.
Total party knockout.
Total party knockout is actually a lot better. If the party gets entirely knocked out, that's one thing. Because in that circumstance,
it's possible they could come back.
You should, as a DM, be like, all right, you're all now in chains, being taken away to a slave camp or something without your belongings. Get ready for a prison breakout session next week, and give them a map of the prison. Because there's somebody in the jail who's a crazy guy, who's been planning a breakout for years. And as soon as the party arrives, he immediately runs over and is like, you guys look competent. You'll believe me. And clearly everyone else in the jail is like, this guy's insane. There's no way you can break out of this jail. And he's stolen plans, and he's got a plan to break out. And he will inevitably die during the breakout. And that's okay. But...
Meanwhile, I would have been gone.
Yeah, and this is a fun breakout
And would have had to make a new character, probably.
No, you'd be, unconscious, and I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah,
if you knock out the party...
You look competent, famous last words.
Yeah. You look competent.
At least in terms of our party,
Help
anyway.
me break out of jail.
No, we made it out.
No, they managed to escape a
burning,
exploding alcohol
distillery.
factory. Yeah, so...
Which, in retrospect, again, not my fault.
No, he actually set that up. So, this guy's a shady motherfucker who works in the black market, and their money laundering business is a very successful brandy company, because Brando Brandy's funny. That is purely the only reason I came up with that. I essentially made him a supervillain version of a CEO, and I very much enjoy RPing this character.
He's so fun.
Party was not imprisoned. He was just attempting to turn everyone into a vampire, specifically the women, because he's weird, and dominated one of the party members because Strahd things. And the sorcerer started just casting explosions on the inside of a distillery, and the...
No, it was Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I forgot she's a sorcerer. Never mind.
Whole building goes up instantly. And, for some reason he's storing dynamite in the attic. Just in case, Which is a very weird just in case moment. Specifically because in case he needs to burn this building
I
down for any
escaped,
reason.
tried to climb up the ladder, saw the dynamite, went, oh fuck, and climbed back down.
Down
and was
the
like,
ladder
nope,
again.
we're not getting out this way, fam.
Right, and the reason why the villain had to disengage was they were doing this during the day, and if the building burns down, yes, he will survive the explosion, but
won't survive
the sun. So he's like, you know what?
Because he was a vampire. Did we forget to mention that?
Oh yeah, he's a vampire lord. Because it's Dio Brando. So he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go underground through my secret escape hatch. I will fuck with you at a later date. And he took that moment to disengage. Party ran the fuck out of there, and it was a net... Did we win? I don't know.
Absolutely not, is the answer. And I'm pretty sure we all knew.
In
that I had failed 2 con saves to become a vampire.
Oh, right. 3 con saves to become a vampire. That's another thing that, quick and easy rules that I think are fun to make up. Look at the vampire spell save DC. Alright, he's gonna try to turn you into a vampire now. Go ahead and give me some constitution saves against vampirism.
That was, I think, one of the last times that we used the big die.
Yes.
The
big
die
Doom
of
die.
Doom. We have a giant metal D20.
Oh, I think it's still at home.
Is
I
it at
think
home?
I forgot to get it.
Oh, we needed it for this upcoming fight.
Oh, man.
Oh. That's a nightmare.
But yeah, he's a fun one. So yeah, it's
great.
Very silly.
I loved that. And that was, I think, one of the most, stressed I've been during a fight. Probably unless you can think of another one where I've been literally a wreck. That was the one where we were actually yelling at each other across the table.
There was some
tension.
There was
a little
some tension.
bit. Because I was yelling at everyone else to get the hell out.
Yeah. She was like, leave me, let me die.
I was like, just let me die on this one.
The fighter was still just vendetta against this guy.
It was
he's the one
so
who started
dumb.
The fight. Sorcerer and Cleric NPCs were both like, fucking, let's leave. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
And I'm like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nightmare, actually. Has there been a worse, more stress fight since then where we've all been yelling at each other like that?
Not yelling. Most of the time you guys just keep it very civil.
That was the last one where we actually, I think we're legitimately angry with each other.
Yeah, because that one was a rough one. That one the party did get very dangerous.
We had to have a therapy. We had to have a party therapy session after that.
Party had a whole therapy session after that. After they broke up.
Because I fully, if they did not apologize, my rogue was leaving the party. That was not okay.
Yep, and they got cured of their almost vampirism, and they were fine. Yeah, that was
I think that was the last,
fight.
although this one, This upcoming one, I don't think we'll get that mad at each other, but it's gonna be high stress.
Yeah, like, designing, a recent boss, I was like, okay, here's a, stat block, here's a, general look, and what's his weird thing? What does this guy have that makes him slightly memorable and kind of unique? He's Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it. He's just a
Oh,
a fighter.
wait, we should tell this story.
Just a fighter. Has a whole bunch of explosive wielding gnomes at his back, and he has a whistling arrow that he fires through the air, and it works kind of like a longbow, except he can also use it to spiritual weapon attack as a bonus action too. Kind of neat, it's just a neat little magic item that Soleil very much wanted, so of course she has to steal it from Yondu. That
before that, he killed me and Tiffany with it.
Knocked out. You and Tiffany with it. He was competent. He's a level 15 fighter or something.
That was bad. That was bad times.
Right.
This is after I was being held over a giant whirlpool by the prosecutor dragon, who was real mad that I stole her necklace.
So this is a sort of another, how do you make a fight fun without complex mechanics? Here's a fight with 0 complex mechanics, but it is a complex fight. The party, lights come up after they've traveled through the multiverse to get to an interdimensional fight ring. For this explicit purpose of stealing a shard of chaos, a chaos emerald.
We thought we were just obtaining it at the time.
Yes.
We didn't realize it was going to be theft.
They see the lights come on, and they're in a huge cage. And at the bottom of the, it's a cage match. At the bottom of the cage, they see that there's a swirling whirlpool, and there are these huge stone bird bath type things.
Yes, this is the Chaos Emerald story. Yeah.
And there are little rocks.
You can tell it much better than I can.
There are little rocks connecting these 4 bird baths that are each at the corner of a square. In the center of this whirlpool, rising up out of it, flying, is a storm giant. Huge motherfucker. I think storm giants should be enormous, not just however big they normally are. I think they should be fully 50 feet tall. So that's what this guy was. He comes out, he's got a luchador mask on, and at the very top of his little luchador mask, he's got this glowing green gem. The party's like, that's what we're here for. He's also got on a belt of storm giant strength, which is his championship belt.
And it's something another party member wanted.
And it's something another party member very much wanted. So they were in top left corner. Party had been informed that there were many other parties that were looking for this Chaos Emerald. At the opposite corner, bottom right, they see coming out the hitmen, or the hit squad.
The hitmen.
The hitmen. This party of drow that's sort of an anti-party. They're another adventuring party that's done various things.
No.
They did. So they did not.
I did not.
But they definitely did a wrestle
we'll get there.
with the big guy. So they pop out, and they immediately start planning. They go into just a plan mode. They go into a huddle.
And I'd had dealings with them before, so I was like, oh, sup?
Yeah, party has interacted with them before in sort of another rival, we were being hired
there was more than one. Hang on.
Kill you guys. What's up with that? It's we stole a thing from this guy. We're actually going to go assassinate the guy we stole it from. And they sort of had this peace talk truce moment of, okay, so if we take some pictures of us beating the shit out of you guys, in quotes.
No, that's not what happened.
And then, some negotiation happened. And
I
it's
gave
all
the
right,
thing back.
You give us the thing.
I gave the thing back that I stole.
No, they did take pictures of you guys.
Did they take pictures beating us up? I don't remember that.
Well, yeah, not actual, but it's they put some dirt on your faces, you all lie down, and they
I was
did,
I don't remember getting beaten up by these guys.
No, they didn't actually fight you. They're like, all right, let's fake this. We were hired to steal something and beat the shit out of you.
Okay. I don't remember that.
So
I do remember
they
getting
then
it back.
delivered the item, got paid, and then helped the party assassinate this guy and take the thing back.
Just for fun.
Just for fun, because they're like, all right, we don't want to have to risk our own lives for this. Why not just take the most money and kill this fuck who hired us to go after a rival adventuring party? What a bastard. So, yeah, the anti-party is a very fun opposite antagonist mechanic. I more made them as an opposite protagonist. They are all good people.
Yeah, they were fine.
They just sometimes have conflicting interests with the party. In this circumstance, they were also here for the Chaos Emerald. In the top right corner, we have Yondu and his band of terrorists.
Yeah. Who I also knew.
Ready to throw dynamite.
I literally knew
everyone.
all of these people because they're all guild. And I was like, hey, how's it going, guys?
All Thieves Guild.
They weren't Starwolf.
No, these guys are not Starwolf. The party is closer to Starwolf than these guys.
Honestly, kind of.
These guys are, I guess they're kind of like Starwolf in the way that it's like, in one of the games, I think Starwolf shows up and they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should help you because we're working for the bad guys. And then, that's fun.
And then the
bottom left, empty corner comes in the prosecutor dragon that's really mad at the party for breaking out one of her defendants that she was getting sentenced.
I think you all remember me yelling about a Phoenix Wright-esque session. That was that. And the prosecutor was really not happy that we actually broke the defendant out instead of defending.
Oh, yeah.
We tried.
They immediately are all whisked into a pocket dimension. That's just a waiting room where they get to drink some water and sit on couches for a minute to essentially plan. I think you actually have an hour to plan.
Yeah, we have an hour, I think.
And then after that, you would be given, I think, 6 seconds around to buff yourselves, and then combat would start. They knew that the gnome party and the drow party are both wanting what they want. They want to get the Chaos Emerald and get the fuck out of here.
The dragon specifically wants to kill us.
Specifically wanted to kill the party.
We were like, damn it.
There's also a full Storm Giant. I didn't just use the Storm Giant stats, I used the King of the Storm Giant stats. Because he's a badass guy. He's got legendary actions and everything. He is just a neutral guy who would randomly attack people. I rolled a d4 to see which party he was attacking, and if two parties were next to each other, then AoEs. Fun stuff. His main stuff was hitting him with a big-ass bat that was also a tornado.
It was cool.
And blew them off of these pedestals into the whirlpool, and they had to, like, feather fall and grab onto the pedestals, etc., etc. That was it. That was the only mechanics. The rules of the fight were take what you can get and get the fuck out. That was what the announcer voice said. So the party immediately beelines towards the giant, as the giant randomly was assigned to attack the dragon.
No, this was way after the dragon ritual.
This is way after the dragon ritual.
This is a different dragon.
Different dragon. This is actually a psychopomp.
Not all dragons hate us.
Yeah.
We have a dragon party member.
That's true.
She likes us. Every other dragon we've met, I think, hates us.
Euphemia thinks you guys are all
Oh,
right.
yeah, no, okay. The Sunspire, we're cool with that.
The dragon party member's girlfriend is also
thinks we're cool.
Also, her whole family.
Her whole family thinks we're cool,
yeah.
I think.
But
everyone, all other dragons, probably.
Yeah. No, there's the crystal dragon up in the mountains.
Oh, yeah, he gave us shit. He thinks we're cool.
Yeah, you guys have some dragon friends.
We have some. We also have a large number of dragons that hate us.
50-50. That's a lot. That's a lot right there.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 dragons that hate us.
Yeah.
If you count Aoife as a dragon, which
she is.
She is. Yeah, so I'd say 4. 4 dragons hate us.
I just like dragons a lot, so I throw dragons in as
that is the understatement of the fucking century.
I like dragons a lot, and it's called Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't have dragons in your campaign, you're playing it wrong. Yeah, it's just dungeons.
If you don't have dungeons or dragons, then what's the point?
Fuck? What's the point of living at that point? So I have a lot of dragons in my campaign. I had a point to this.
It's like Dragon Quest.
Yes.
That's
Dragon
another.
Quest
That's
has
another
the most
quest.
Dragons. Yeah. And that one, ton of dragons.
So
loving
we
it.
all have dragons.
Yeah,
you were talking about we were talking about how dragons hate us. The fight with the four squads.
Oh yeah.
Where one of the squads is the dragon that hates us.
That was a combat where just everyone was beating the shit out of each other, and the cleric who wanted the Storm Giant belt was like, "I'm gonna wrestle him for his championship belt." Somebody else grabbed the gemstone.
I tried and failed.
And the other cleric, and also beefy dwarf, they essentially tag team and go WrestleMania on this guy and fully just wrestle him and take his shit.
Meanwhile, I stole. Well, I didn't actually. Our dragon party member ripped the prosecutor's necklace off, tossed it to me, I put it in my bag of holding, and for some reason, that made the dragon mad at me, and not Olivia.
Right. Olivia, well, she, dragon has the eye on a prize. She's going after the necklace.
Yeah, so she went after me.
Yeah,
was
Olivia
like, give
then
it back,
was
and I
aided
was like,
by
no.
The cleric, and she also helped with the WrestleMania, this barbarian paladin dragon party member. So of course she likes wrestling. She's a gym rat.
You had jewels. They wanted jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
jewels, they wanted jewels.
So she grabbed me and, held me over a whirlpool. It was tight there for a minute.
Right. And the only complicated mechanic that I suppose would be in there was, like, who attacks who. I had the whole anti-party, their whole attack pattern planned. But the party very quickly decided that they would make friends and split the profit with them if they worked together. Which I had the paladin of the Drow party propose, because the entire rest of the party was fully ready to just dismantle you guys.
Oh, yeah. They had a plan.
They had a whole attack plan. Because they did their research. They knew how to kill each of you. So the paladin was like, look, we're going to kill you, or we could work together and maybe some of us will not die. And the party's like, maybe, and then he holds the wizard out over the cliff, and they're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, all right.
And yeah, they worked together, beat the gnome guy, fought the dragon, and they got out of there with their gemstones. No one in that combat, except for the NPC gnomes, actually fell unconscious.
Yeah.
A couple of party members did against Yondu, but they were quickly revived.
No. Tiffany did go down once, I think.
She did go down. Okay, yeah, as she was casting a plane shift.
Well, no, before that. Because the paladin had to res her.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
She got whacked.
She did get whacked. By the paladin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he did whack her.
He whacked her and then resed her after they made the deal. Where all the rest of us were over there trying to friggin' fight the dragon and the storm giant.
Yep.
We're like, hello, a little help.
Right, so that was a combat with the interesting mechanic of winning does not equal killing everybody else. Winning is just
getting out alive.
Getting out alive with the stuff you wanted. Get out alive is priority number 1. The stuff you wanted, I guess, is priority number 2. They managed to get everything that they wanted.
We did.
And get out of there.
But
they had to split the profit with the Drow party, which agreed to a much lower price than they had initially were being paid, because they were like, well, the guy who wants to buy this is probably an evil dickhead.
Probably.
And they both did like a sort of standoff thing of both parties wanted this for their sorcerer. So the Jessica's party was like, all right, how much would you buy this for? And they talked, and it's like, we have 25,000 gold. And they was like, would you do 24,000 gold? And they're like, yes. It's like, how about we give you that much? They're like, that's fair. We named the price.
Yeah, we did that.
It is fair for you to pay us the price we named. And yeah, that's what ended up happening. Party ended up paying for the loot that they
After it
acquired.
did get stolen from under our noses by this damn gnome, and we had to chase him down through the city.
Yeah, that did happen. The gnome plane shifted along with everybody else because he was great or invisible, and stole the gem and tried to book it on out of there, but was chased down by the party, had the shit kicked out of him, and Soleil stole his arrow, but they left him alive. Out of respect. And also because he had a dead man's trigger and about 3 tons of dynamite on his person.
So we were like, better not.
He was just like, I rolled death saves in front of the party, and they're like, what is he doing? He's rolling death saves. Somebody stab him.
That was me.
And
I was like, he's rolling. What is he doing?
Yeah,
Somebody stab him.
I rolled to stabilize. And he looks up, just half delirious, half unconscious, and he's like holding this trigger. And so like goes to stab him, and the wizard's like, hold on, let's check it first.
No, that's not what happened.
Somebody told you not to stab him.
It was me.
Was it you?
I saw that he had the trigger.
Okay. Yeah, you flip open his jacket.
I was about to stab him, and then I saw that he was holding something. I was like, I want to see what that is.
Yeah.
And you as a gnome were like, I wouldn't touch that. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I backed off.
Yeah, he was ready to level the city block. And probably and the party was hurt, just annihilate whoever was right next to him. So, that would have been fun.
Yeah, we would have all completely died. Because we were pretty messed up after that fight.
So the wizard cast Force Cage on him, and they left.
We left him.
Left him in a box as he was just sitting there, not bleeding out, laughing
fine.
to himself.
Yeah, he was fine. And then he started rumors about me in the Thieves
Yep.
Guild, I found out later.
Yep.
What an asshole.
He apparently holds a grudge.
Who doesn't, honestly? Pretty sure we have way more enemies than we do friends.
Yeah, that's just how D&D works, though. You do have a lot of friends.
We do have a lot of friends. You wanted to talk about pet peeves.
Pet peeves. When a player doesn't know how their own abilities work. I'm fine if you can't keep track of everything about your character, but it does bother me when it's like, I'd like to do this. Well, I don't know how that works. And then they have to go and look up how it works. Do that before your turn comes. You can easily do that. Everyone's got computers or a phone. This is not targeting you in any ways. I'm thinking of somebody else. And it's the type of thing of like, I don't know how my abilities work. And it's like, well, then learn how your abilities work. You're playing a very simple game. 5e is incredibly simple. At least, no, alright. That's unfair. 5e is a complicated game. The person I'm thinking of had played Pathfinder before, which is much more complicated. So it's like, okay, well, you should know how your ability works then. Because you've been playing this character for a month, 2 months, a year now? Okay.
It is hard, though, because what I've found is that I don't always, like, I think I take notes, and that, like, on how my stuff works, not on the actual campaign. Dear God, no, I don't do that.
Okay.
I, like, write down what I think my stuff does, and then when it comes time to use it, I'm like, my notes are stupid. Like, when I write them, I'm like, this makes perfect sense. I'm absolutely gonna remember what this means. And then it's time to use it, and I'm like, what does this mean? I don't know. Me? Like, thanks for that.
Right. And
yeah,
like,
multiple characters is hard, too.
I get that. You know, it's like...
Actually, well, it's not for me, because all my characters are pretty different.
Yeah,
luckily.
If it's like, okay, I don't know how, you know, you play a lot of characters and you might not remember that cunning action lets you dodge, disengage, or dash. As a rogue. You can write that down on your character sheet, but it's... Yeah, like, you know, you have a lot of shorthand, you look at your own notes and you're like, what does DDD mean?
Yeah, like...
If you, like, went triple abbreviation, like DA... DI,
yeah,
and
I'm
like all that shit. If you did that for cunning action, you'd be like, I don't know what this means. You can look it up before your turn comes up.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree with that. But I'm saying, like sometimes, especially with Celine, for some reason. Celine's the one that gets me.
You forget that you have abilities.
Okay,
That's
I do that
fine.
all the time.
Yeah, deadly disc
display.
Kirby is a name you know. Alright.
Well, that's a whole nother issue.
That's a good show.
That's not what I'm talking about. Yes, I forget that I have abilities all the time.
That's
with
fine.
everyone.
That's
not what I mean.
As a DM, don't mind a player forgetting that they have abilities, because that's just them kicking themselves in the face.
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm so good at that.
I don't mind.
Shut up, John!
Ooh, sass from John. I don't mind when a player forgets that they have abilities and don't use them. Like, oh shit, I had shield as a reaction, I'll use it next time. I
do not! That's like the one thing that I remember! I just choose not to use them.
I wouldn't say that not using resources is a pet peeve of mine.
It's not, or it is?
It's not.
Okay,
good. I'd say that's not a pet peeve of mine.
It's just
say
annoying.
that you need to use your resources more often. She's a hoarder.
I am a hoarder.
And
in every sense of the word.
Yes.
I'm like, it's not time yet. I need to save it for the final boss. And then we get to the final boss and I'm like, but is it time
But is it time? It's like, well,
maybe I could probably wait.
You've got 11 spell slots. How many things do you really think we're gonna fight?
I don't know.
But that's, pet peeve, know your abilities. That's it. Especially as a player playing with somebody else. When somebody's like, oh, I don't know how this works, let me look it up. As a DM, it bothers me, because it's like, alright, but at least as the DM, I could be like, well, as you're looking at and wasting everyone's time,
I can move on to the next person.
Move on to the next person. I can keep things moving. I can, at worst, plan. And as a player, it's just like, well, shit. This is just slowing things down and making things boring. Pet peeves as a DM.
I can't wait to feel super called out.
I don't have a whole lot of pet peeves. Okay. Leaving the party to go do your own bullshit.
Okay, no, I don't do that.
When you actively want to be, doing something that doesn't relate to the party at all. If it's I want to go off and, buy some flowers for a party member or for an NPC, sure. If it takes, less than 3 minutes for you to go off and just, I want to do this errand real quick. Yeah, you do that. Cool, thank you. Just, asking for clearance on doing, busy work and paperwork type thing, that's fine. Yeah, forgetting you have a revive is pretty important. Yeah, don't be I want to go do this entirely separate thing. And as an early DM, I didn't put a stop to this nearly often enough. So learn from my mistake and just straight up say, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to stay with the party because if you want to go do that, I just hand wave it and say, yeah, you you want to go try to heist a house alone. You look around the house and see that there are people in there, and it's just right now, it's too hot. It's not worth your time right now.
It's too hot.
Yeah, if you break in, you'll get caught. And if they press you and be I definitely want to break in, it's all right, give me a stealth check. Not good enough. You get thrown in jail.
Goodbye.
Yeah, fucking put a stop to it. And be meta. Be hey, please stay with the party. We're trying to keep it.
Just tie the party's hands together.
That, sometimes that works. And I would like to distinct that from when the party gets together and makes a plan to split the party. That is entirely different. When the party's alright, the druid's gonna cast Pass Without Trace on the rogue, and the wizard's gonna cast, Clear Audience on them so that he can hear what the rogue hears, and then relay it to the party. Rogue, sneak into the castle and see what you can find out, and if you get murdered, we'll at least know, so that we're able to come in and get you and save your ass. And then the party waits as this rogue, the only stealthy character, sneaks in and gets some recon. That is a common occurrence and one that can be very awesome because the party is invested in this character. They are invested in what's happening.
Sometimes
it's a plan you came up
invested.
with. Yeah, you came up with this plan together. So it's fun.
If you get murdered, not a line you want to hear.
Hey,
well, it's a line I heard a whole bunch 2 sessions ago.
It's part of being a professional, is knowing that death is around the corner.
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm not worried.
And yeah. And it's also irritating as a player when a party member's I want to go off and do my own thing now, and actively take the party's time. It's just not real fun for everyone.
Which I think is why it's good that we have so many sessions where we can just do what we need to do at this point.
I regularly have people go into town, and to get all that garbage
that way
out
we don't
of
have to waste time with shopping and doing.
Have everyone go in a circle.
The wizard loves to start fucking businesses.
Yeah, wizard loves starting small businesses. I love that. It's a really funny character thing that he does. He's I want to start a bed and breakfast with my infinite magical power.
I really am gonna start a competing one.
I'm gonna clone myself and use this immensely powerful wizard clone to start a bed and breakfast. I'm this is the funniest shit. Do it. However, it's not I'm wasting the party's time. It's an RP session where everyone sat down and it's all right, what do you do with your downtime?
It's because I think we have a policy of establishing this next session is going to be an RP session.
Yes.
We're going to dick around. Except for the time that we accidentally started a combat session, we were trying to dick around.
Yes.
That was not fun.
Which one are you referring to? That's happened
Literally the last one.
Okay.
Has that happened more than once?
There was the one time where we were just chilling, and then Tiffany got sucked into a different dimension.
Okay, that one doesn't count.
By a wild magic surge. Because that happens.
That does happen.
Sometimes you just get plane shifted.
And sometimes it's for a really stupid reason.
Mm-hmm. It was cute.
Okay.
She casted suggestion on the entire party and was like, let's do 20 questions and get to know each other better.
She was trying to set up me and the wizard.
It is a time skip. Time skipping is a useful tool as a DM because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's weird that campaigns take place over the course of a month in game and they take a year out of game. No?
Yeah.
Why are you running the game this way?
How long has our campaign been going?
6 months?
I think it's
7
6
months
months. I think
now?
we're at 6 months.
I think the party started around June, and it's now November going into December. And I regularly bring that up of, a couple weeks pass here, a couple weeks pass here.
And
I
we'll
keep
be
track
like,
of the month and the
this
week.
major holiday is coming up,
Right.
type thing, so we know, we have some kind of reference of how much time we've been spending doing things.
Yeah, it's
Which
the
to me
winter
is weird
solstice
because it
is in a
feels like
couple
we've been
weeks.
going for so much longer.
Right. But it is several months have passed, and in that time you've developed friendships. You've it's not
You don't
weird.
just become friends overnight.
Yeah, you don't become friends overnight. You spend a week of downtime
Unless
together.
You freaking have to.
And you can kind of gloss over that and be like, yeah, we hung out and we talked for a week, and then you can roleplay being more friends.
I mean, it's kind of based on.
So I do have a year-based timeline. I wasn't gonna mess around with the months. That was something I thought
too
about.
confusing.
But yeah, in my world, it's the year 1143. That year is established post fall of the biggest empire in recent history. It was 1143 years ago. Before then, they used a different calendar system that no one really cares about because it's not the one you use now. But yeah, it essentially is a countdown from a significant event in the world, very much like real life. So, yeah, it emphasizes time, have moments for RP and separation so that you don't have people going off and dicking around by themselves and taking fun away from the party.
And those are always my favorite sessions, honestly.
Oh, and they're so much fun. I love those sessions because it's
we just do stupid bullshit.
It's an ordained dumb bullshit time, and everyone loves it. Versus, all right, everything's real serious. Stealing from party members is a pet peeve of mine as any character. Don't steal from a party member. Not actually. It's fine to pickpocket a party member.
The wizard's money.
He's an NPC. You can steal from NPCs. That's always fine.
Technically a party member
All
at
right,
this point.
it's absolutely fine to steal from NPCs. That's totally okay. No issues with any sort of theft. Stealing from a party member or a party member's NPC. NPCs do belong to party members sometimes. This is my brother. Mine.
Cedric, my NPC.
Yeah, if you steal from my brother,
he's my NPC.
I'm going to start beef with you. So don't do it.
Don't encourage the thieves.
Thievery's fine, so long as the party's very down with thievery, and sometimes they are. Sometimes you got a party full of thieves, and the goal is to steal everything not nailed down. Those are very fun.
That was how I came into this campaign.
Those are very fun campaigns.
Quickly saw that wasn't gonna work.
That was the origin of the campaign.
Yeah, it really was, actually.
Where Tom was it was a two-party campaign, essentially, where it was a fighter who was lawful evil, and he's like, so long as you're not stealing from me and mine, it's fine. And Soleia's like, I will steal from everyone.
Who is not you.
Who is not you. And they had an agreement.
Then we had the lawful good party member who bogged us down.
Yeah. I got bogged off. You can pickpocket a party member for a, map, read it, and then put it back. That's okay. That's different. When you don't, take something away from a party member, when you're, encouraging the spread of information, that is a very niche, very specific and situational exception, but, isn't universally bad. But in general, don't steal from party members.
Are you saying that because
ask politely?
Cedric is my NPC, I have free license to steal from him whenever I damn well please?
That's fine.
Perfect.
However, if, one of the other party members, decide to fight Cedric...
I would kill them.
Yeah, start beef. Don't kill each other's NPCs. That's rude.
I love that he's my NPC.
Yeah, this is just, talking realistically. Some
I would kill
NPCs
them.
belong to other people, and... even if you don't like them, understand
Olivia's
when a
also
moment.
my NPC.
Understand when a moment is somebody else's. It is.
Except when it's really funny to not.
Yeah, it is important as a player to know when a moment is somebody else's moment. And what I mean by that is, like, if somebody's, you know, family member or close personal friend NPC comes up and, like, has this deep, meaningful talk with him just for a moment, because, again, you want to make sure every player's feeling included and part of the world, part of a living, breathing world. Don't be like, I pickpocket him, or I want to do some dumb shit to ruin this moment. Don't do that. Don't. Now, if it's the whole party is talking to this individual, and they're talking to the person, in general, temper what you're going to say. Don't speak up at every opportunity. Give the person the chance to do the talking. I'm not saying I'm a paragon of this, but this is just good role-playing as a player. This is just good advice. Let and encourage the other players to have fun in their moments. It's very important. And, you know, it's sometimes hard. Sometimes you make the mistake of stepping on other players' toes. I've done it hundreds of times myself, I'm sure. I can think of a dozen. So, just, yeah, do your best to be like, this is their moment. Actively shut the fuck up and just listen. And if a question comes up that you feel inclined to answer, and, you know, maybe it's your place to participate, maybe add a comment. If you have something insightful add to the conversation, add in. But don't regularly speak up if it's their special thing. Yeah. That's generally my pet peeves. I
can't even think of any.
I don't... This is my personal opinion. I know that it disagrees. It's an unpopular opinion. I don't mind a high-intelligence character, like a wizard, metagaming a little bit. And what I mean by that is, like, metagaming not like, oh, I know that this character had this conversation with this NPC off screen. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the wizard is like, oh, they see a bunch of statues everywhere, and they see tracks that are like these wide, long paths that wind through sand inside this underground cavern. It's fine for the wizard or, like, the druid to be like, there's a fucking Medusa in here. Or at least a basilisk. Like, that's fine. I think that, as a DM at least, is very fitting, because these characters should know about these things. And if it's like, hey, do I know about this thing? As a DM, sometimes you don't have to make them roll for it. Like, you know, if they're like, do I know that this is a Medusa? Like, or something like it, maybe? In that case, it's like, oh, sure, go and give me a check. And if they roll abysmal, even like a natural 1, it's like, I mean... Maybe, that seems likely. There's statues, and these statues look horrified, so that does make sense to you. It's something that turns things to stone. You put that together in your head. And you're like, yeah, your conclusions are your own. Go ahead and, just, you know, make wild guesses. That's fine. At the same time, as a DM, I've pretty much altered every stat block in minor ways that I've ever used. When I say, you know, don't make, you know, huge changes to stat blocks, I also don't use static ones either. I generally am like, okay, you know, I'll pull up a winter wolf, and I'll be like, alright, you guys are gonna fight some poison-corrupted moss wolves. They do poison damage instead of ice damage, and are also plants, so all things that affect plants also affect them. They also have a unique weakness, literally water. Running water is treated as acid for them. Ding! New weird creature that's in the world, very dangerous, and very interesting. Party was hunting a lot of those for a while and dealing with a forest infested with them.
Hell yeah.
Why do I do this? Well, I think it's fun because it always keeps my players on their toes. I have a lot of players who are very experienced with the game. In addition, I like pulling out stat blocks that are the classics. Like Umber Hulks, and Onkegs, and Beholders, and then changing them up. I'll do a thing that's called Witchering an enemy, where Z Basher goes through a video about this. Highly recommend his YouTube series. He talks about various small aspects of D&D. But you essentially turn these famous monsters in D&D into these horrifying abominations by giving them resistance to everything except for their one weakness. And they have a couple fun little traits about them. This one weakness totally fucks them up, and that's very much in the theme of the Witcher games. So, in my campaign, some examples, Onkegs are the giant ants of the D&D world.
It's not a good time.
Ordinarily, they just swarm around to do lots of stabbing. I made them completely immune to piercing damage.
Yeah, that was not fun for me.
And resistant to all physical damage.
Not fun for me.
And vulnerable to fire damage. So anytime one gets hit by fire, they're probably going to instantly die, even from like a firebolt. I also gave them the fun ability of highly flammable and explosive, where when they die, they pop, and fire damage goes everywhere around them, because they're essentially just sacks of oily flesh.
Did you ever actually fight any of them?
You blew up a lot of them.
I don't remember that.
There's a lot of fireballs thrown around, and they just cause chain reaction explosions, and suddenly they're all dead. And that was also
that's probably why I don't remember
something that you've stumbled across completely by accident, which I kind of expected, because throwing a fireball at a bunch of insects makes sense, logically.
Oh, now I remember that.
Yeah, there's the hive.
That's right.
Inside a dwarven cave.
Well, I mean, I remember that.
Some of their little fun tidbits is they're attracted to the sounds of clanking metal, because they're the natural predators of dwarves in my world. Which is like, oh, that's weird and neat. And that's where they burrow through the earth, is they're hunting for dwarves in their underground cavern. The natural predator of Onkegs are the Umberhawks. They make similar holes and chase after these hives, and they're attracted to the sound of soft skittering noises.
Because of course.
Because of course, they're attracted to the sounds of Onkegs. They are very scared by very loud noises, and their vulnerability is thunder damage. So, logically, the party has to not only not make loud metal noises, because that would attract the Onkegs nearby, but they also have to not be super quiet. So they have to kind of meet this, like, weird equilibrium.
So stressful.
And they had to be creative as to not attract either of these very dangerous monsters. Yeah.
God, that was a long time ago, too.
That was a while ago.
Oh my god. We've done so much with this campaign. I love it. Could literally talk about this campaign forever.
Yeah. Don't really have a whole lot of other major pet peeves I can think of. Don't be an asshole to players in general. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, that should just go without saying.
If your character is a dick, don't be a dick to the party. Unless, they're being a dick to you and it seems fitting to
be a dick back.
Remark back. Now, that's completely just a reactionary
Has
thing.
happened.
It's happened. But in general, don't start shit. If you don't start, none won't be none. So be friends with the party. The entire party should be friends. Actual friends. It shouldn't just be this merry band of adventurers that managed to cobble together randomly. You should have history and have a reason to be adventuring together. A pet peeve of mine is when people don't do that. They want to make a character that's, like, completely separate and doesn't have a reason to be with the party, and fuck all, wants the party to encourage them to adventure along with the party. Holy shit, I hate that. That is one of the most irritating things I've ever had to experience as a DM. Don't do that. You're an asshole if you do that. Straight up, don't do it. If you are doing it, change. It's alright for a character to go through some damn character motivation or development, because you need some. Yeah, get some friendship in your life.
Get some friendship.
It's some good stuff.
No. Yes, that's fine. Do Tans Hall.
I had a problem player in my past, so I'm mostly just naming things that bothered me that he did.
I can't even think of any.
Fuck, yeah. He stole from the party. He was generally unpleasant and an asshole to be around. Had no reason to be with the party. Was refusing to become friends with the party. And actually ended up betraying the party to join the bad guys.
Jeez.
and it was rather fitting, and no longer play with that player anymore, and his character is going to come back as a boss fight, and they're going to rip him in half.
Are you serious?
Yes.
In the other...
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, don't say too much.
One of them asked, is he going to be a boss fight in the future? I'm like, oh yeah. This is going to be cathartic for me and everyone else.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It works for the boss. Powerful cleric, murder the fuck out of him. He's a bastard.
I don't think you've ever even told me that story.
I think I mentioned it briefly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What else have we got? What other fun bullshit do we have?
How to have fun. Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
No, yeah,
okay.
we did that. What else should we talk about? I mean, I guess we've done. It's almost been 2 hours, but...
Open to ideas of discussion.
We're out of questions. Give us questions. Otherwise,
in the meantime, I'll just kind of...
Or your childhood shows of choice. Okay, Twy.
Ben 10 was the shit. I woke up every Saturday morning, and I don't think I missed one episode, and I went, and that was one of the first times I remember as a kid looking up illegally an episode of something. Ben 10 was amazing.
Oh, right. You said that earlier. I didn't watch a lot of TV growing up, honestly. So, depends on what you mean by childhood. Hang on, let me find your comment, Flares. I know I commented after
CR7
it, so let me find it. Hold on, okay.
Shield Guardian?
Balance combats when the party has a creature that's CR7. One of the players took the amulet for the Shield Guardian from the boss, and now I need to work around this.
Okay. So in your situation...
Sorry, Flares.
In your situation, you have a CR7 Shield Guardian that
in the party,
is in the party. All right. I'm just going to look up their stats real quick. Is this a game you're DMing for?
Probably. What was a show you liked when you were younger than you are now? Watched a lot of early Disney Channel, probably. He says yes, he is DMing. Probably a lot of early Disney Channel shows. Early, in quotation marks, as in earlier than shows that are on now. Like, That's a Raven, Sweet Life, that stuff. I didn't give them the regen feature, not yet, he says.
Okay.
Yes, like That's a Raven era.
So, instinctively, there are 3 ways that I'd balance this. A, the party member that wants to take actions from the Shield Guardian must use their own actions to do it.
That was what I was gonna say.
Yeah. If you want to command the Shield Guardian using his amulet, that's very strenuous, because you haven't practiced doing this. It's something that takes years to master, or some such bullshit. Maybe you're not the person the amulet was specifically crafted for, and you have to essentially, hotwire this amulet to work for you with magic. So if you want him to multi-attack, you have to take your action to multi-attack. If you want him to, I'd let them move him around for free, sure. If you want him to cast shields on, let's see, when a creature makes an attack against the wearer of the Guardian's Amulet, he grants them a +2 if he's within 5 feet. Yeah, if you want to use his shield ability, have his amulet user use their reaction. 2 +7 attacks at level 5 wouldn't be that scary. It's also 2d6 +4.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
That's the equivalent of a fighter with a greatsword at level 5. That's not or a maul. I guess it's literally just a maul. It's not even magical damage, so
yeah.
All right. The spell storing thing, I really don't know how he gets a spell. All right, sure. They have to use their action.
I'd say yeah, use their action for that.
All that stuff. Does that make this thing less fun? Sure. However, you get this mech that can tank damage for you and give you a
it's just like the ring, right?
Yeah, he has
It's basically the same thing as the ring of spell storing.
+2.
Yeah, it's a damage sponge, so
yeah,
if it dies, then it dies.
It's got regeneration.
Well, he said he didn't give them the regeneration yet.
Oh, Fucking, then yeah, it's just a box of hit points. There's... Yeah. That's the balance. It's got 142 health.
Damn, that's a lot of health.
The way this thing is balanced is action economy. If this thing was allowed to do whatever the fuck you wanted it to at all times, yeah, that would be kind of difficult to balance. It's essentially an immortal fighter that's running around the battlefield doing a, average of, what is that, 22 damage on both hits, so probably an average of 11 damage per turn. That's not nothing. It's actually rather considerable. Whoever's in control of the Shield Guardian suddenly has a much more fun thing than the rest of the party, especially if they're allowed to control it, and you should be allowed to control it. So yeah, I'd probably just say you have to take your action to make it smack people. I might be nice and say you can make a bonus action to have it make a single attack. +7 to hit, 2d6 plus 4. That's a very good bonus action. So again, that's a question. That's a maybe. But it is, yeah, you essentially have the player take their bonus action to have it smack somebody once. But in general, yeah, just have them take their actions. Another one is, this one's a lot more brutal. The player has to concentrate on the Shield Guardian as if concentrating on a spell.
And handle it like an elemental?
And handle it like an elemental. You have to give it commands as a bonus action. So, essentially, if you don't give it a bonus action, it just takes the dodge action. Which, again, very good for tanking hits. But, so they take their bonus action and say, go smack that guy. Shield Guardian then walks over and punches that guy twice. However, if this dude breaks concentration on his amulet, the I'm just going to call it an elemental.
Just call it an elemental.
The Shield Guardian will then be hostile towards the person wearing their amulet, and will do everything that it can on its turns, which is what, in this circumstance, just before that player's turns, to murder them. So essentially, it's like, imagine bonus action. You make it go and punch a zombie. Punches a zombie and kills it. Cool. You then take your action to do something else. You can't concentrate on another spell, because this takes up your concentration slot. Oh no, an archer skeleton shoots you. You break concentration. Shield Guardian mad at you now. Shield Guardian, at the start of your turn, gets his full turn. He runs up to you and punches you, or uses a spell, if it has one stored in it, to try to fuck you and all of your friends' shit up. And then that's his turn. He is now an enemy, for all intents and purposes. During the person's turn with the amulet on, they can take their action to make an Arcana check, or maybe like a Charisma check. Some sort of check to try to regain control over the Shield Guardian. I'd say I'd make like a DC 15. So they take their action, try to get control over it again. If they do, hey, it's your friend again. You can then immediately take your bonus action to have him go punch somebody. So you kind of get a reward for regaining thing. And now you're concentrating again. If you get smacked again, you're going to lose concentration. He's going to go punch you in the face. So, yeah.
Then it's like a...
Then he's a risky sort of thing on the
endeavor.
field. Yeah, and you also can't concentrate on a spell.
I think that's pretty good.
So, I would make it one of those two things.
Risk and reward, yeah.
Risk and reward, or less powerful.
Or just make you...
Just a hard nerf.
Just you have to use your action to command it.
Yeah, you can either be a level 5 to level 7 fighter, which is not bad.
Second one works, yeah, I figured you were going to go with that one.
Just remember that, it's a full concentration thing. Can't concentrate on another spell at the same time. If Amulet's on his head, Shield Golem's going to fucking punch you in the face. If he decides to take the amulet off, that would probably be an action. At that point, the Shield Guardian will probably just go insane and start attacking anyone nearby until somebody tries to assert
This is a rogue who took it.
Right. Let's see, a rogue. What level are they? Because generally...
Yeah, rogue may not be great for...
Just turned 6.
7. Just turned 7.
A rogue at level 7... is going to be doing 4d6 damage plus their weapon damage from an action.
Yeah.
That's 14 damage. Plus the weapon damage is probably around 10. So they're going to be doing around 24 damage as an action. If they took their action to go punch somebody...
I think they'll give it to someone else in the party. That's what he says.
Okay. Rogue is probably, like, a non-spellcaster.
Is who you want to have that.
To be using
like,
this.
And maybe they'll figure that out, but if you run it like that.
Right, but
like the wizard. Well, that's not going to last if you ran it with concentration. They
right.
won't do that.
Wizards use their concentration slots.
Yeah,
They'll probably very quickly realize that the wizard should not have this thing on their head. A rogue doesn't use concentration.
I mean, you could let them do it and then tell them how it works.
Rogues do use cunning actions, so they would be like, alright, if you bonus action control the golem, you then can't hide or aim and give yourself advantage on your attack.
That's a trade-off.
Which is a trade-off. That's very good. Trade-offs with powerful items are important. Especially when you're adding action economy. Don't want to break action economy. This thing does do that, so you're going to want to temper it a little bit. Yeah, I'd say the bonus action... essentially, how I'd run it is if you don't give it any commands, it doesn't move and takes a defensive stance. If you take a bonus action to command it, it can move up to its speed and attack, or move up to its speed and cast a spell. Just because, with a rogue specifically, if it can move around willy-nilly, the rogue will be able to get sneak attack on every single attack. Is that a bad thing? No. Rogues always should get sneak attack. As a DM, you should always allow a rogue to get sneak attack, because there are so many ways for a rogue to get sneak attack. It's a main class ability, and they should use it every single turn.
Yes, absolutely.
However, having a guy who can move around and just stand in a bunch of enemies for free is pretty good. Like, that's actually kind of strong. If you think that you'd like them to have that sort of, like, body on the board, start taking some damage, or even be, like, a sort of thing that people have to run away from, and then, you know, the rogue could use their... Well, I guess it couldn't take... I would not let it get attacks of opportunity if you're running it the bonus action way.
Yeah.
I'd say it could still do the shield thing as a reaction, but not use the rogue's reaction. But I'd say I wouldn't give it an attack of opportunity as a reaction. Because then you could just send it into any group of enemies that are running at you, and it would get to punch one of them, and that's...
a lot.
That's a lot for free. So, yeah. Bonus action can move up to its speed and take an action. It can use a reaction. That seems balanced to me. Yeah. And maintain concentration. If you get smacked in the face, this thing's going to murder you. I would also give it a distance limiter. I'd say that if this thing is more than 60 feet away from you, it can move 30 feet, it can dash to 60. I'd give it either like 60 or 90 feet. If it's that far away from you, it goes into like standby mode where it just starts taking the dodge action and you can't give it commands.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because, yeah, 60 feet, great. I didn't, perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Oh shit, this thing transfers damage? As long as the Guardian is an amulet on the same plane of existence, you can tell the Guardian card to travel to it, and Guardian knows the direction. So 160 feet can half of all. Okay, I'd straight up get rid of that. Bound is an insane ability. That's pretty good. I'd say that the telepathic communication thing fully doesn't work.
It's not your shield amulet.
It's not your shield amulet. This thing wasn't crafted for you. Maybe it worked on the boss that it was made for, but you're not that guy.
Yeah, so it doesn't work.
If they want to go on a long quest to go, like, find
someone
an ancient sage who can make it bound to you, then maybe the bound thing would start working on you. But for right now, if he's 60 feet away from you, he stops working. While within 60 feet of you, no damage transfer. Just you're allowed to talk to him. Yeah, can't speak. That's fair. It's got blind sight. Jeez.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. No skills, no saves. I think that's addressed pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think so. We see you, assholes. Twy wants to know what we do for fun besides D&D and streaming for me. Nothing is the answer to that question.
We've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We've been watching Avatar. We've been...
we talk about D&D a lot.
Yeah.
We
play D&D a lot.
We've been playing Xenoblade.
We've been playing Xenoblade, which is what we're listening to.
Yeah, I'm playing through the third Phoenix Wright game. Avatar: The Last Airbender is amazing.
You've never seen it either?
Oh,
good. Someone else.
You should just watch it. It's very cute.
You would like it.
It is a kids show. The themes are those of a kids show. However, for a kids show, it's rather mature.
Yeah,
the episode
good.
we just watched, a random person just gave birth. And I was like, wow, I don't remember that.
It's really good. I'm really enjoying it so far.
It's very cute. I would recommend it.
House Trials Tribulations.
So we're on
Case 2.
Case 2.
We're on the last day of trial of Case 2.
Yeah. Very good. I'm enjoying it. I like Godot a lot. I thought I had Godot's backstory spoiled for me. Instead, I had the first line of dialogue he said for you spoiled for me. Because for most characters, that would have been a spoiler. But yeah, no, he's crazy and I love him.
He told me that. He was like, I had Godot completely spoiled for me. And I was like, no, you haven't. And he's like, I'm like, tell me what you know. And he was like, this. And I was like, cool, you're wrong. Let's move on.
That's it. That's all I know.
Who was your... Oh, well, Flair's asked first what foods we like. Chocolate.
Dude, food's great. I love food. I like pasta. I'm pretty good at cooking spaghetti.
He's very good at cooking pasta.
I make a pretty damn good jank chicken parm.
Oh my god.
I take some... Now, don't knock this until you try it. It's actually quite good. You take some chicken nuggets, alright? Make those chicken nuggets. Make them a little crispy. You mix that with some good spaghetti. You undercook the spaghetti slightly. The package always says cooking for too long. Whatever the package says, do the minimum and check it like a minute before the minimum. Because like al dente pasta is the good shit. You don't want it to be mushy. I like spicy red sauce. Slightly spicy red sauce. The kind of really like that I'd recommend is...
So start into a food stream.
It's like the Classico, I think, brand. It's the little glass mason jars that have the little very cutesy
all pasta comes in small glass mason jars.
That's not true. Prego comes in plastic. Okay. Most of them come in plastic,
Alright.
I feel like.
You should. You should come visit me.
Ah.
Yes, we eat a lot of pasta.
Yes.
We do not have any regrets about eating a lot of pasta, but we do.
Oh yeah, and you throw some Parmesan
Especially
on that,
in
some
quarantine.
mozzarella, some like Italian spices. You gotta buy the Italian spices. They get all the good shit in there. Garlic salt's bomb. I'm good at cooking pasta and making sandwiches and making pot stickers and not much else.
So that's all we eat, because I'm even worse.
I love pot stickers. They're delicious. Chicken nuggets are good.
We are literally children,
all
basically.
sorts of sandwiches. I can make pancakes.
You can make pancakes.
I can make pancakes
you make
pretty
bacon.
good. And I can make bacon.
But not eggs. I have to make the eggs.
She makes the eggs. We cook them in the bacon grease. Following a recipe is excellent. I can do that.
Probably.
I generally don't like baking. Just because it takes so long, but I've started getting back into it. It is very fun. It's the type of thing where generally it's like, I want to make this thing, and I have none of the ingredients. And you go to buy the ingredients, and you're like, well, I'm going to have these containers of ingredients for the rest of my life, because this is all I'm going to use them for. Baking, I enjoy. Because it's an exact science. But cooking is definitely more fun. Cooking is a lot more fun than baking.
Sick-ass lava cake a few years ago.
Nice.
Okay. Who is your favorite, not Edgeworth, character in Ace Attorneys that Michael has played up to?
Non-Edgeworth favorite character.
I love Edgeworth, though.
I really enjoy Gumshoe. Gumshoe's a character...
He took a while to warm up to Gumshoe.
I did take a while to warm up to Gumshoe because his introduction to you is that he's a dumb idiot that's mean to you, So of course, my initial response to this character was, "Wow, he's a dumb idiot who's mean to you." Big dumb
And
stupid.
I was like, just wait, you're gonna love him.
And then over time, he got some solid character development, and like by end of game 2, start of game 3, he's fully your friend. Like whenever you start a case, he's like, "Man, you've got this is gonna suck for you," and it's not in a mean way.
Francisca, Twy. That's also the answer to. That's also my answer. If you're gonna take Edgeworth out of the picture.
Francisca is fun. Just from game 2, I'm not super in love with the character. Haven't seen anything else about Francisca. This entire series has had almost nothing spoiled for me, which is wild, considering how long this game's been going.
He thought he was never gonna play this. Joke's on him.
I thought I was never going to play this series, but then one of my friends started playing Godot, and I was like...
In D&D.
In D&D. He modeled his character after Godot, a gentleman sorcerer. Gentleman is a homebrew class that I made from the Old Spice advertisement gentleman class. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to Google it right now. It is amazing. Tangent aside, I looked up Godot just to see what his deal was. Don't remember anything about
Which
him.
is great.
Other than he is batshit insane and loves coffee. And I got that from his first sentence of game 3, so everything's hunky-dory in the world.
I remember that we were playing the first day of trial. I fell asleep, and I woke up because he started laughing so hard at Phoenix with coffee on his face.
Oh yeah, when he chucks the coffee at Phoenix, it is legendary, and I love it. Anytime Phoenix's sprite is messed with, fantastic. The wig, Hummingbird, all good.
Are we gonna play Edgeworth Investigations 2? So what I think we're gonna do for basically all of the games going forward, because I think I have all the ROMs that I can possibly have. What I'm thinking about doing is having him play, and I think this is what you wanted to do also, because we have the Edgeworth games and Apollo Justice, and then the 3DS games, which are going to be difficult to emulate, so we'll figure that out when we get there, because I don't think you want to play them on a DS.
No, no I don't.
We'll figure it out, but I think what the plan is to play a bit of it, and then see how he likes it, because Edgeworth Investigations it hits different. And I've kind of explained to him how it works. Oh, they are on mobile now, you're right. Yeah, they are. I forgot that did they port 6 to mobile already? I mean, I say already, it's been like 2 years, 3 years. Yes, oh, okay, cool, I did not know that.
Neat.
That still kind of sucks, but you can play it on my iPad.
I'm sure there's a way to hook an iPad up to a TV.
Yeah, probably, we can figure it out.
Honorable mention is Ganondorf.
It's not, he means Gant.
Gant. Really fun character. I love how he is obsessed with swimming and generally just a jolly fellow.
Until he's not.
You know, he can be a hard ass, but the thing I like most about the character is just when he stops talking and his standard sprite. He is one of the best standard sprites out of any character in the entire game. Because it can either be just like I'm listening, happy smile, but also when he's just in the middle of the sentence, just
soul.
the stare of just, did I give you permission to speak just now? And I love it.
So I think we're gonna play, like, at least, like, the first case, maybe. I don't know about Apollo Justice. Apollo Justice is gonna be a little weird.
Yeah, he's like laughing, and he just goes to a stare at you, and then there's silence, and then he blinks, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's kind of scary. He commands a presence.
Because I figured, yeah, we'll see how Edgeworth goes after this, because that's next. So, I'll probably let him, like, if you want to start by playing the first case of Edgeworth and see if you like it. And if he doesn't, then it'll just be something that we watch.
Fifth case of the first game, I loved it.
Apollo's also on mobile? I think I have the ROM for Apollo. That's okay.
Yeah, I really liked the fifth case. Even though it was really long, I liked almost all the characters. Yeah, Emma's fun. Really liked Cowboy. Really liked Bento
Angel.
Box Salesman.
Angel.
Angel was fun. I liked older sister. Gant's fun. Pretty much everyone there. Yeah, I enjoyed all the characters.
Yeah, we've been having fun with it. I've just been so tired that we haven't been playing it lately because I want to be awake for that frickin' last day of trial. Barring Big Top, which you're wrong about. Okay, listen, it's on my list. I'm gonna do that write-up, I promise. The notes are on my phone. Maybe on the way up, maybe on the drive up to NorCal this weekend.
Which
maybe
case did I like the least?
Which case did you like the least? Samurai. I'm not a huge fan of Turnabout Samurai either.
The ending of Samurai is really dumb.
I think Samurai's too long.
Which is like game 1, case 3.
Game
right?
1, case 3.
Okay.
I just have a thing with case 3s, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
but I don't hate Recipe for Turnabout as much as some people. I think you, Twy. I hate Turnabout Sisters. Twy, what the fuck? That's case 2 with Maya.
Case 2 with Maya.
Not in game 2, in game 1.
Game 1, yeah. I liked that case.
Oh, you do? Oh, you do like Recipe for Turnabout. Who hates it? Someone hates it.
Recipe for Turnabout.
That's the next one. That's 3 of Trials and Tribulations you haven't played yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe it is Noel that doesn't like it.
I really liked the last case of game 2.
He loved it. I was not expecting.
I loved DeKiller's whole deal.
I was not expecting how much.
Whole deal of being a gentleman and being a hard lawful evil, just so uptight about everything being perfect and living by a book.
2-4 is incredible. 2-4 made that game for me, and I am not a huge fan of Justice for All except for that case.
Is so good.
Which is ironic because it's the first one that I played. But
2-2 is also very fun.
2-2 is also good.
2-2 takes the cake for probably one of the best arguments that a prosecutor makes in court against you, where Francisca fully brings in the picture of Maya when she's talking to you.
Mia. When she's Mia.
When she's Mia. And fully just presents this to the court, and she brings up spiritual evidence in the court of, in a fucking trial. And I'm like, really? She's going the hard fantasy route here. And, she's proving the supernatural exists right now. And she's like, yes, and I shall use this to prove that you are wrong.
But also, I can't submit this as evidence.
And I can't submit this as evidence,
which is amazing.
Which is okay, that's very funny. Where it's okay, you should be...
We had a long discussion.
This should be a full retrial. This is fully...
Oh, it would be fully a mistrial.
You're getting sanctioned. You did that on purpose. You're
getting sanctioned.
That's going against so many rules of the lawyer to do that.
We had a long discussion in case... I think it's case 5 of game 1 about the 2 rules of evidence law.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. Oh god.
In case anyone doesn't know, we are both law students, and found that very funny.
Oh yeah. Her
also, when she threatened to kill Lana in the middle of court.
So good. Yeah, when she straight up was you show him the picture of just clearly that's not
that's not
my client, and she's like, she can shapeshift, it's part of her superpowers, and the judge is like, oh, what? She's like, here's literal evidence of her superpowers. Also, look at that 4-year-old that's next to you right now. Look at her. And then Mia turns to you and she's like, oh no.
Yeah, oh no. We've got it.
I honestly was kind of sad that she didn't point out the fact of Pearl, right there next to you, is completely different right now. That I thought would have taken the cake. But yeah, she definitely established herself as a worthy adversary in that trial. So far, yeah, I just bought the Ace Attorney trilogy specifically to play the 3rd game. So far, already worth it.
Yes, please. Everyone give your thoughts on Big Top and why it's the worst case.
Oh, so much sass. It's so good. It's... it was easy to prove Maya because you can get, a side-by-side photo, but you also could do that with Pearl of, this girl is 7! This is a 7-year-old.
Don't get me started. Just don't start me right now.
Yeah, alright. We don't have to talk about that.
He agrees with me. He is not because he is biased because he's dating me. He agrees with me.
It's dumb. It's fully dumb. But we're not going to talk about it.
I'm gonna do a write-up because I will forget something if I try and say it, and I don't want to do that. I want to fully lay out on the table all of the reasons that I hate this case.
Yeah.
And this is coming from I love Ace Attorney. I do. Do I? It does not.
Morgan Le Fay is a very fun character. I honestly wish she had more, dialogue in the game. I know that she does come back. So I am excited about that.
Okay, good. Yeah, I will, we'll have that conversation, players. Don't worry about it.
Godot had a really funny line. Oh, his first line of, "I have never lost a case." Wow, that's impressive. Nor have I won one. What? Yes.
He loves Godot, and that makes me really happy.
So funny. I'm just I am. This is my first case. Okay. And you're just what? Why? And the stupid shit Godot does in court is so much fun. Oh my god, I love it.
He loves him.
Where he never stops to think, should I do this? It's always, I'm doing it. I love it. So good.
Got that 0-0 record.
Oh yeah. Technically, never lost.
Never won either. I love Ace Attorney, and I'm so happy that we're playing it together. Because it's pretty fun. A win. That was what I was supposed to say.
Oh,
but yes, it's been very fun. We have so many games to play, though. So it's very difficult right now.
Yep. It's like UC Santa Barbara. Hasn't lost a football game since the 70s.
You don't have a football team.
Exactly.
Me neither, Twy, honestly. But we're also, we're trying to balance it with Xenoblade.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's hard because I have to be, competent awake for both of them now. Because I'm trying to... He made the foolish decision once we, started and I was helping him through quests, that he wanted to do as close to 100% completion for Xenoblade as possible.
Right, because with the remastered version, they have expert mode. And I was like, oh, I can level myself down?
Which is awesome, by the way.
It's awesome. By the way, the game rewards you for leveling yourself down in this game. It's fantastic.
I forget if
it gives you more shit.
Yeah,
if you
I have to
fight
think
something
about...
if you're lower than their level.
Maybe 2 always did that. I forget if it was added in an update or if you could always do that. I think you could always do it. But yeah, so they brought that from 2, which made me really happy.
It's so awesome.
Same with the little quest thing in the corner. Once I saw, I booted up 2 again, and I saw that has always, in fact, been a thing in
nice.
2, and I was like, oh, well, there we go, never mind. But...
Oh yeah, quest tracking is awesome. I've not played Zero Escape. I don't even know what it is. Other than that, it's a video game.
It's a, trying to think of it's a heavy visual novel, weird fucking game where it basically, there's an overarching story, but in super, super general terms, it's like Escape Room the game.
Okay.
Where part of it is, oh, you just bought it? Congratulations. Enjoy your new Ace Attorney trilogy.
Nice. It's awesome. Going from the not remastered version of 2 into remastered 3, oh my goodness, it looks amazing. Everything looks fantastic.
Yeah. Zero Escape is you have to solve puzzles.
Okay.
To escape from rooms, and then the rest is just plot. It's just exposition plot. And the trademark of the series is teaching you about random-ass bullshit. Cool. Most of it is really esoteric, and a lot of it is made up.
Cool.
Or it seems like it should be made up. Do I know Gundam from DR's VAs playing through VLR? Why? Is he one of the VAs? That would make sense, because I know a lot of voice actors are doing that while in quarantine.
Playing through their own games.
Playing through games that they voice acted.
It is funny where a lot of those voice actors haven't even picked up those games because they're just, it's a job, It's that you don't have any loyalty to the game that you voice act for a lot of the time. So, like, watching Nolan North play Last of Us, or whoever it was, who did...
Troy Baker?
Troy Baker played... I think it was actually Nolan North and Troy Baker.
And Troy Baker together, because they do a lot of shit together.
That was just so funny. I was just like, alright.
I love the Zero Escape series, but I would only recommend it to very specific people. The dub actress for Dahlia Hawthorne has been streaming the Ace Attorney games.
That's awesome.
From the anime? That's a lot. Wait, they did that in the anime, right? It's games... Yeah, okay, good. For some reason, I always forget that they did the adapted Trials and Tribulations in the end. I have problems with the anime, that I don't need to get into. Mostly just that they took out the Magatama. Why? It's stupid. They handled Trials and Tribulations well enough. But I mean, okay, I know what you're gonna say, but it's like a core of the series.
Is it?
Kind of.
You could just make Phoenix
I don't
smarter.
know how you make the Magatama into a show mechanic. I know. Sorry, I'm messing with my dresser. I need to stop.
You also could just, Phoenix could just be good at telling when people are
I know.
lying.
But they just, like, even if they had,
Or
like,
they
given
could
it
even
to
have Pearl be good at telling when people are lying. Like a pure-hearted soul with magic, where she's just like, he's lying, he's hiding something. Like, that would be it.
I don't know. I thought, and that wasn't, like, my biggest issue. For some I just felt like the pacing of the anime was extremely weird. Like...
I know why. Twice into bondage, and there's no shame in that.
Oh my god!
There's no shame in that, alright?
Oh, you heard it here first.
It's just... yeah, you know. That's okay. That's alright. Into whips, probably into leather.
Do I confirm or deny? I can't even be upset. He's gonna make a bunch of memes later in retaliation.
Good. Come at me.
He loves the memes. He did
also
enjoy
love
the
the
Yoshi
memes.
meme. I'm indifferent, he says now.
Indifferent about whips? You sure?
Or that you're gonna make a bunch of memes later.
Alright.
Alright, what else do we have to talk about? Yeah, that's what we've been doing lately.
Yeah,
We're about...
Doing law school?
Doing law school. We're about the whole bondage. He's indifferent about bondage. We're about maybe a little over a third into Xenoblade. I forget how many chapters are in one, to be honest. Because I thought there were a lot less, but I was apparently thinking of 2. So, 2 only has 10 chapters, I think. And we're already on, like, chapter 9 of 1, and I was like, we're not even close to the end. What's going on?
Right.
Last year of undergrad? Oh no. Good luck. It's almost time for you to become an adult.
Yeah.
There are chapters in 1. They don't talk about them.
They gloss over them very quickly.
But when you save, it tells you what chapter you're in, and I was like, I didn't know about this either.
Anytime the game forces you to save,
it's the end of
it's
a chapter.
the end of the chapter. Now there's tons of auto-saving, but
we
anytime
are,
it's like, save now.
We are right before Prison Island. That's where we're at. We're doing a side quest run now. Because
there are clocks on them, and I am concerned.
I've told him that he doesn't have to worry about it.
Despite that.
But he doesn't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like clock quests.
But we've been having fun. We did a bunch of stuff with the he loves the Nopon, so...
Nopons are so cute. And also have such capacity for evil, and I love that. I really do love that.
I mean,
who cares about names of chapters? I mean, you know, this the story beats. You go around and
You made a Nopon play race in D&D?
That's adorable,
Hell yeah.
and I love it. Good.
I want that.
So much squeesh. Definitely has to have +2 to con.
Yeah.
Because they are squeesh.
I feel like they should be good at charisma.
Probably like reduced fall damage because they're dumb little flappy wings.
They get a fly speed?
Yeah, probably +2 con, +1 charisma.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd give them a fly speed because they don't actually fly around.
Yeah, they just fly
hover.
in the air. Yeah, they hover.
So I'd probably give them like
charisma and wisdom.
Fall. Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
Probably give them like a feather fall type effect or like a monk slow fall almost, where it's like you take 1/3 fall damage.
Oh, they want who's your favorite protag? Who's your favorite party member?
Well, Ricky is adorable.
Who's your favorite Xenoblade character, just in general?
Okay.
Paladin Nopon. That sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome.
Oh boy, here we go.
Favorite main character protagonist.
Twilight likes Melia, following as a Ryan fan.
Right now, I think I like Ricky the best because he's adorable.
I knew he was gonna love Ricky, so.
It's interesting where all of the characters fall into pretty general character archetypes, but they don't play around with those character archetypes yet. Like, Melia is the princess. There's just
Melly,
verbatim.
Zoltan, and Ricky.
Ryan is the jarhead.
Yep.
Verbatim. Shulk doesn't.
Shulk's the
Shulk
fucking
is
nerd.
the link. He's a nerd,
yeah.
but like he kind of almost dropped. I feel
Ryan
like Shulk
is a
has
himbo.
regressed.
I agree.
Yeah, Ryan is a
Well,
himbo.
Yeah, Shulk may
has
have regressed a
regressed
little
in
bit.
terms of character.
Well, yeah, and what's
Because he went from being like, oh, I'm an engineer and I know a lot of cool shit, to I use the Monado, that's what I do. And I'm
that's
also
my
an
thing.
angry boy. I want to murder. I am a vengeance paladin now. Yes, he's a Monado holder. Like, what?
He is. That's his job.
Genuinely, I really would like something else other than blind anger and an occasional quip. And usually those quips are
Those
rather
quips are pretty
passé.
good. Except for the thumbs up one. That was good.
What was the thumbs
when,
up
with
one?
Melia, when they first met Melia, when Ryan gave the thumbs up, and
It
then
was
she
disturbing.
insulted. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then she
Oh, I'm
insulted
talking
Ryan.
about
and
Shulk's
then,
quips.
no, but then Shulk gave the thumbs up after that.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm remembering right, he is very angry.
Shulk is an angry boy. Yeah, Dunban is over there. That is exactly Dunban's character. He is the hero who should have retired.
But didn't.
But didn't. His friend is the hero that did retire.
And now explores.
And now...
Dixon.
Dixon is probably a more interesting character than any individual member of the party, and I could probably make a pretty solid argument on that. Dixon, in 5 minutes of dialogue, has developed himself more than any other character in the party.
I will read you the chat just in case.
Dunban is very
I trust
hot.
everyone here, but Dunban is extremely hot.
I am bothered by the fact that his underwear is atrocious.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
I was as soon as we got Dunban, I was like, "Can you do me a favor? Take his clothes off."
Right. I knew naked
And
Dunban was a build. I'm like, all right,
His
time to see.
beachwear is not good.
It's just I don't know about his beachwear.
Like
I don't think we've gotten it.
His like naked shorts.
His naked shorts are
no,
full
not
shorts.
the resort one. I don't think we have that yet.
I don't think we have his
No,
resort outfit, so
the-
maybe that'll be better. But his like actual ecru everything, like fully
fully
no
naked.
outfit,
It's not good.
it's garbage. Like Shulk's is his Smash
Shulk's
Bros.
is
one.
great,
Very good.
obviously.
He's just wearing boxers. Ryan is wearing like a tank top and boxers. Also
Fine.
acceptable.
Charlotte's bikini is great.
Charlotte's got a bikini. Hell yeah.
Melia's is adorable.
Nellie's is adorable. Ricky's
Just has nothing on.
he's just got nothing on, which alright, Ricky. And yeah,
Dunban's just disappointing.
Dead last in terms of
Although
underwear.
I'm a big fan of the stuff that they added in Definitive Edition with the first of all, the ability to change.
Oh my god, they added in the D&D like transmog thing, or not D&D, World of Warcraft transmog thing, where you can just equip any cosmetic
I love
armor
it.
piece, no matter what you're wearing. You
It's
get to
awesome.
select what your character looks like, so long as you've unlocked it, which encourages you to unlock every armor piece in the game. And that's awesome. It also gives the time trials like a reason to do things.
Aren't there? Oh, you haven't played Far Past Prison Island either, so you're only a little bit ahead of us. Do you mean like more party members? Is that what you're asking? Ryan and the... Do you mean Ricky? Ricky in the pineapple?
Ricky in the pineapple outfit is so cute. Ricky's outfits are the best. He's got a dragon, he's got ball of spikes, pineapple, tiger.
Yeah, I love the tiger. Tiger's my favorite.
Like, he's just so adorable.
Ryan's headdress is the
Ryan's headdress is
one.
incredible. I love Ryan's headdress. He's also got some pretty decent looking armor. Like, his heavy armor's not bad.
We have everyone in Aerith stuff right now because we're still in Aerith C.
Yeah, we're still doing the Alchemist stuff, so everyone, of course, gets their
Well,
own
some
stuff.
of them are... I think what I've figured out, because I know for a fact that we have party members that we need for some of them, I think some of them might be story locked.
No, some of them are story locked.
Yeah, so like
I don't know which version you're playing, but it says this. You need to advance the story more.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until like the 4th or 5th one that we saw.
I remember.
I was like so confused. I was like, I know you have these people.
Right, so it's like this one's a Shulk and Rhine one that you unlock way later. It's like, oh, okay, it doesn't tell you that. It should.
Yeah.
It should have Shulk and Rhine and then have blocked out the like affinity meter. And
so
be, like,
some of them
maybe
just because you haven't advanced the story far enough, which is weird, I know,
yeah,
but
it does questions on the heart-to-heart
I don't
list
remember it doing that
for
before.
some reason.
So it may, but
something that I want to point out is you should run up and hit A on all the heart-to-hearts because then there is a log somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's what
like,
Colin's talking about.
Yeah.
On the list.
And yeah, on the list you
can see when you have
look to see when you unlock some of them.
I actually always forget about that too.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but I do remember. It's like, oh, I don't remember running into that one.
Yeah, we're just running around doing quests now. We're doing some Colony 6 stuff also.
Yep.
It's been fun.
Ricky's adorable. I love the fact that he was just like, oh yeah, I'm fully an adult and have children.
I did know that thanks to Emil. Yes, that Mon of the Soft also worked on Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Oh,
and
that's
Breath of the
cute.
Wild.
Nice.
In terms of non-player characters, Callian is so hot. Only got better with the definitive edition. Fucking love Callian. Even those wife's ungrateful. Wait. Shut up. Callian is this hot.
Is this still Xenoblade?
Yeah. The prince.
Oh, the prince?
Yeah,
the elf
I love
prince?
him. Oh, he calls the Hyantia elves.
They are elves. The game's lying. They're elves.
I'm into his sister. I know you're into Melia.
They're bird elves.
I love Melia.
She's probably my favorite non-Nopon protagonist. So probably second favorite
She
protagonist.
grew on you because you didn't like her at the beginning.
I didn't like her at the beginning just because she was the...
They're high elves. Yeah, they are.
She was the bitch princess archetype. And then she fell back into just the normal princess archetype. Which, the reason why I like her better is just because she has the best character archetype. Shulk's is garbage. Ryan's is garbage. Dunban doesn't have one. And we're out of characters. So
Charla.
it's like... Oh, Charla. I forgot. Charla's character archetype is actually not bad. She's the sort of like retired soldier who wants to help people. I really wish
Charla exclusion.
I really wish she had more voice lines. Like, I forget she exists because of how rarely she talks during cutscenes.
Yeah. At this
Ryan
point.
always has some dumb shit to say. Shulk talks. Dunban always inserts that, I don't care about whatever you're saying. I'm gonna go run at the problem. And Melia usually has something intelligent to say, and Ricky's adorable.
Also the whole Gather thing.
Doesn't say anything. Oh yeah.
Well, it hasn't been mentioned in a while, TBH.
Right. It's just like, okay, she...
It's backstory.
That is what he does. He talks at people. He doesn't have conversations.
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong.
Yeah. God.
He's problematic, okay?
I am so far enjoying the game. However, I would like to say this before people hate on me for not liking the game. I like the game. I'm not saying that I don't like the game. When I really like things that I'm currently playing / watching, I will pick them apart.
Yeah, it's what I do too.
Yeah, I rip apart the things I like.
We both do that.
Because that helps me appreciate it in its fullest extent. When I can analyze everything wrong with it, and then at the end of the day be like, and despite everything, I love it. I think that's fun. Really, the game could have done dialogue better. I know that there's the whole system of you run up and it's like you talk to a person and based on who you have in the lead and who you have behind you, it'll randomly have one of their quips about what the quests are. As it is now, the quest NPCs talk at you and it doesn't tell you which party member has unique dialogue. Why not? That person should jump into your party.
Do you want me to start telling you that from now on?
You don't have to, because then I'd have to stop the game every time I want to, like, get the full dialogue options, which might be worth it, but the game should just, regardless of who you have in your party, should automatically throw in a party member who has unique dialogue options. It's a personal quip of mine that I think...
The NPC thing still annoys me. Yeah, that I will give you that is pretty annoying.
Where you have to go around and talk to all the NPCs
Yeah.
occasionally just to give you all the status. Yeah, running around the city as a time waster to go talk to all the green dots on the map, and you just smash through their dialogue because they're gonna say some dumb shit about a quest you've already completed, and then you get a star, and that unlocks more quests. Yes, that's a stupid mechanic.
Yeah,
I
it's not the
understand why
best.
it exists, and sometimes they actually have some funny stuff to say. So, I'd give that mechanic a 4 out of 10. It could have been better, could have been worse. I think that those conversations should all be lumped together. So, like, if you were completing a quest, and then if you talk to them again, they would have, like, had an update for you, and then stars would happen. You shouldn't have to end the conversation and then
talk to
restart
them again.
talking. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. Because a lot of times you'll forget that's a thing. The battles feel excruciatingly slow. That's very fair. And that also really depends on who you have in the lead.
That's following. I will tell, but real quick before I forget, that is something that 2 does. 2 does give
Make
you
it
an
faster.
indicator that that NPCs have new dialogue.
Oh, that's an
Yeah,
amazing
2
improvement.
does do that.
That is an amazing
And I'm honestly
improvement.
surprised that that's that they did not bring that over into Definitive Edition.
Um,
I guess it's because 2 always has speech bubbles over their heads, like small speech bubbles.
Okay.
And when there's new dialogue, they have a little star next to them.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, Twilight. Like, I
I
watch
get it too.
Hearthstone videos at like 1.5 times speed, and then when I go to actually play the game, I'm like, wow, this game's slow. Like, holy garbage, it's terrible. But, yeah, it's a slow game. If you're playing as somebody like Shulk or Ricky, you get at least the little bit of fun of having to position yourself next to the bad guy and do the thing in the right order, and you pull off the combos. There's the directional-based combat that, if they didn't have that in the game would be a bad combat game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It would be
I agree.
so boring. But since they have that in there, it actually makes it fun to, like, you have to play kind of like a rogue in D&D, where it's like, I want to get the flanking bonus. I have to,
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
I have to be, like, on the side, alright, and this one I have to go, and this backstep, why did you turn around? Like, that happens all the time, and it is fun.
Spamming elementals is Melia. That's generally how I play as Melia.
God, I dislike playing Melia.
He does not like it.
It's like, I figure out how to do it where it's like, 1, 2, 3,
Oh, yeah, AI
white,
Shulk's a bitch.
ding, white, ding, white. Oh yeah, AI Shulk's awful. Because he doesn't run around and do what he's supposed to do.
No, he
And
doesn't. He's,
The main
he's
thing,
a dummy.
like, I'm sure anybody who's taken a second to read his abilities realizes it's like, okay, so first you run around, stand at their side, you do the thing that, reduces aggro if aggro's on you, and then, alright, defense lower, white break for slow, backstab. That's what you do as Shulk, in that order, every single time. And it's like, if you do anything else, like the AI, it's like, oh, you're
playing
doing...
Shulk wrong.
You're playing Shulk wrong.
Just
You're
like
doing
if you
so
play
little
Shulk
damage.
with clothes on, you're playing Shulk wrong.
Yes, must have clothes off Shulk, unless they are edgy dragon armor, in which case that's pretty good too. Ryan is a button masher, but if anybody's like hasn't started the game and is early on, play as Ryan until like you leave Colony 9. Because he's by far the most fun character to play, because no one else has any abilities. And he fills out his ability bar instantly. So I just add that in. I was bored with the game until you told me, oh, try playing as the other characters. And
Yeah, I was
started
like,
playing
you
as
can
Ryan.
try playing as
I'm
Ryan
like,
if you want.
oh, this is much more fun, actually, because I
I
have
could
more
tell.
buttons. Charlotte is hard to play, and the AI is good enough.
The AI is actually good.
Yeah, she heals you. Don't play as a healer in any game. In any game. Don't play as the healer.
What about D&D?
Even in D&D. If your main job is being a healer, you're doing it wrong. Play the game like Pike. Flame Strike. Oh, you're about to die? Alright, I'll heal you. Flame Strike again. Like, you walk up and you bash. Alright, you like playing as healers. Name games that have healers that are actually fun to play. Because in every tabletop RPG I've played, the healer role has been inefficient.
Oh yeah, no,
unless you have some
efficient.
bullshit combo like in Pathfinder. Where
Okay, fair.
If you
Metopia.
Metopia.
Fair.
Gonna say I don't know what that is. I'll have to trust you on that one. Be okay as a heal bot. It's okay to be a heal bot. I just think that you should not. You should try to have some other aspect to your character other than I am the healer. At least in a tabletop RPG. Now, like Charla, of course.
Cool.
She's
Mine's
a healer.
Eldritch Blast.
That's fine. You deal damage.
Yeah.
The combat in tabletop RPGs, the combat is designed to end. You are supposed to kill the bad guys. So if you're sitting there not killing the bad guys, you're slowing the game down. Does that mean healing's bad? No, heavens no. You need somebody who can heal.
Random question from the topic is ready to change.
Ooh.
Your favorite Pokemon?
I've got a team. I have a lot of Pokemon I like. I thought about this a lot, actually. So I'm just going to start naming a lot of the ones that I like, and I don't know if any of them are really my favorite. I like Lucario, Latios, Chandelure, Zoroark, and Zora are both adorable. John loves Lapras, so Lapras has grown on me quite a bit.
I love Lapras.
I like Salamence. I like Goomy. Goomy is top tier. I like a lot of the dragon Pokemon.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised. Where are the dragons?
I mean, I've named like 3.
Mm.
Dragonite's okay. I really like Dragonair and Dratini, though.
I love them.
I am upset with Dragonite. He's Barney the Dragon, and Barney the Purple Dinosaur is a dragon. And I really wish that that wasn't the case. He's cute, and, you know, he's got his own purposes, but I really wish he was, like, cool. Like, Dragonair is so badass. I like Melodic for the same reason. I think Melodic is, like,
Twi loves Melodic.
badass as hell. I used a Melodic for a full Nuzlocke playthrough, and it learned...
Dragonite's so cute while also being scary.
Yeah, Dragonite is very cute. I just wish Dragonite... Somebody point out something to me that actually, like, bothered me. Whereas, like, if Charmander evolved into Dragonite, it would make sense.
Yeah.
While if Dratini evolved into something closer to, like, Melodic...
It makes sense.
Would also make more sense. And I was like, okay. Yes. Fully yes. Charizard's awesome, though. I love Charizard so much. What else? Of course, Pikachu's adorable. But probably not up there with, like, my uber favorites. Victini. I like Victini. Probably my second preferred legendary after Latios.
I'm a Blastoise bitch.
Blastoise is very fun. Sadly, is not literally a dragon, so gonna have to give you a second place on that one. If you like Venusaur, get out.
Alright, well,
Just kidding.
I
you
was
have every right.
a Bulbasaur in Mystery Dungeons, so I feel like I should be... The personality quiz gave me a Bulbasaur, so I feel like I should be offended.
Mystery Dungeons, ooh, I almost forgot. My favorite starter is Swampert. Mudkip, I do like. And I hear other people like Mudkip, but Mudkip is the best. By far. Best starter. Hell yeah, you are correct. Guess what, everybody? Mudkip's got one weakness. Back when that meant something, too. One weakness, and you could play around it, because grass-type moves weren't exactly given out for free, like Flamethrower and Thunderbolt were. Hell yeah. Immune to lightning. What else? I like Darkrai. Darkrai's badass. Latias is also very cute. Rayquaza's awesome. I will stand by my incorrectness in that it should be pronounced Rayquaza.
Yeah.
It should be, and I know that's incorrect, but Rayquaza sounds cooler than Rayquaza, and it is easier to say. That's my opinion.
No, I agree. You're right. I always, like, double take when pronouncing it, because I never remember which one is the right one and which one is the one I think it should be.
Right.
And I'm like, Rayquaza.
Arceus is okay. He looks like a half-finished design to me. Conceptually, it's like, okay, he's a deity. That's interesting. So are all legendaries, really. But like, I like the ring thing he's got going on. I'm not a huge fan of how he doesn't like have
I just
fingers.
say Raymond to help people understand.
Yeah. Everybody loves Rayquaza. Everyone knows what you mean. I honestly, I really like the Regis and Regigigas because of how stupid they are. They are so dumb. Where somebody essentially like took D&D golems and made them into legendary Pokemon, and they're just so silly looking. Also, Regigigas is so fat. I love how his ability is I'm big and fat. Watch out. And he has 5 turns because he's asthma because he has diabetes and he takes a while to get himself heated up. But once he's there, oh no! Same thing with Slacking. Slacking top tier for stupid ability. Oh my god, that is exactly what they make you do.
You're right.
I learned to read Braille as a child.
To do it?
To do it. I then later learned that I could Google those things. I fully translated Braille. Yeah, fully. And I was like, oh.
I then forgot Braille.
Of course, everyone forgot Braille. I do remember A is top left dot, though.
Oh, wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be entirely wrong
I
about that.
hope you're wrong.
I might be. That's what I thought. The only thing it was. Yes. At least you can read unknowns if you squint. No way. Rude. Let's see. Other good Pokemon. I'm sure there are some I'm forgetting. Eeving's very cute.
Eevee. Best Pokemon.
Best evolution.
Don't make me pick. I love them all too much.
I like how Umbreon looks the best.
I like Umbreon Shiny the best.
Umbreon Shiny's very cute, yeah.
Sylveon. That's why.
Sylveon is so many ribbons.
Leafeon, wish it was better.
I
know, I love how Leafeon looks, wish it was better.
Leafeon always, looked weird to me.
I like its tail.
His tail's cute. I like how Jolteon is, but I know that he's not good to pet. And that's what bothers me. Like, he looks so cool.
Sylveon, Espeon, Vaporeon, in that order. I have, my Eevee from the Pokemon Center is Espeon.
Okay.
And I have a Vaporeon hoodie, which I was gonna wear to MagFest last year, but I didn't, so I really should have.
I would probably put it...
It's like half a Kigu.
Jolteon, Umbreon, and Espeon would probably be my order for, how much I like them. Umbreon, Espeon, just because Pokemon Coliseum was amazing and you started with them, so that probably is a good factor into that. Jolteon, because that's what I had in Pokemon Conquest. Shout out if you played that game. That game is awesome. And if anyone tells you different, they're wrong.
I do really like how Glaceon looks, though.
Flareon is by far the most petable.
Yes.
And that just tells you that it's an exact opposite scale of petability
the Kimono Girls
to
made a
violence.
damn fool of me on stream.
Oh, they're hard. The Kimono Girls are actually they'll body you if you're not careful. In the remakes in Soul Silver, don't you have to fight them back to back?
I think you do.
That's awesome.
I lost him 5 times.
Hey, that's good. That's good game design. If in Pokemon you get bodied, I have a great time. When Red bodied me in Black 2, I had never been happier. And when I got bodied by Cynthia, it was great. Favorite NPC? Definitely Cynthia. She hot.
Love Cynthia.
So hot. She's got the weird hair things.
Yeah?
Don't know what's going on there.
Good to know.
Yeah. She just gives off better than you energy.
Yeah, she does.
And she is better than you. She backs it up, and I respect that. Only league champion to not treat you like an idiot.
Why was your Dunsparce named Edgeworth?
That's super sass. I love it. I mean, I can't get
To
Hey
piss you off
Cynthia.
if you ever showed up?
Good.
God damn it.
Perfect.
Look, I'm sorry that I'm too busy. I'm honestly legitimately really sad that I can't come to people's streams.
Aw.
Like, I'm very sad about it. But, like, I'm always doing something. Now that's friendship. No, I know that's not what you meant at all. I'm aware. I'm just sad about it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Jolteons are good, man.
I dropped the sticky note. Okay.
And just a plug, because I enjoyed the game. If any of you like Final Fantasy Tactics and also Pokemon, this game is just Final Fantasy Tactics, but you have a Pokemon. That's it. It's awesome. It's also using the Samurai Warriors characters, which is another game I enjoyed. It's Dynasty Warriors for Japan. I love that game, and those are the main characters, and it was bomb. And you get to play as Ash Ketchum, but a samurai. And
which game is it they want to know? What are you talking about?
Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest.
It's a spin-off. It is top-down, turn-based, tile-based, very like a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
Except there's like AoE effects. It's not like instanced combat where you run up and enter combat with somebody. Didn't play Pokemon Ranger. I saw the commercial and thought that it didn't look fun to draw circles around something. Perhaps I was wrong, but I've never reconsidered that that opinion. Honestly, you might be the first person to say that you liked the game.
Circles are hard.
You know, yes, they are. It is hard to draw a circle. Interesting. Honestly, I think you might be the first person I've ever met who said that they liked the game, because most of the people, my two friends who played in high school, were like, "Yeah, you draw circles. That's the core
the
game mechanic." I'm like, "Oh, is it better or worse than Pokemon Pinball?" Worse. I was like, "Okay."
Don't need to play it. All right, what else do we got? Favorite Fire Emblem?
Sacred Stones. Or Awakening. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I was probably Awakening.
Probably Awakening, Sacred Stones, 7.
Awakening because I fell in love with Chrom.
And I haven't played enough of
I love Chrom.
Conquest and Three Houses to really fall in love with the game yet. I'm like halfway through Conquest, the first of 3 stories, and I haven't even gotten past the time skip in Three Houses. So, the games are long, man. I had more time as a child. Ninian is awesome. Hell yeah.
No Birthright Revelations, as it should be.
That is currently my experience with the game.
But Birthright has Ryoma.
I mean, you get to play as the bad guys and kill your family, and it's the best.
Yeah, okay. Well, I played Birthright first, and then Conquest, and that shit was rough, man.
Also, you got the really possessive stepsister that, makes you uncomfortable, but she's also really good with an axe.
Yeah.
Also makes you more uncomfortable.
That,
nice. Yes.
The chapter with Ryoma in Conquest broke me emotionally. I was very sad, mostly because I was devoted to Ryoma.
Give me a second while I remind myself of which Pegasus sister Florina is. Because there are a lot of Pegasus sisters. Oh, she's pink hair.
Yes, that one.
She is adorable. She's the one that hates men, right?
Purple hair, Pegasus Knight.
Yeah. Okay.
Is good. Youngest, timid, they say.
Very cute. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely turned her. Yeah, definitely trained her. She's in from 7, yeah?
Yes, because that's the one that Twice played.
Yeah. Sacred Stones.
Yeah, she hates men. Can't blame her.
Sacred Stones is a better game than 7. And if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. Just because what Sacred Stones does is they take all the good things about 7, add a monster race. So, like, in Awakening, the zombie race is purely ripped from Sacred Stones. And I was so happy about it. I was thrilled. Kineas and Lucius are both fantastic. Lucius is so good.
Wasn't I there when you got that?
Lucius is the classic, very, very attractive man, right?
Awakening is every Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Awakening, that actually is what happened.
Right, I was the one that told you to buy it.
With Awakening, they decided, well, all these art of Lucius is not how I remember. I thought he looked at least slightly more manly than this.
Lucius has twink energy, and I'm here for it.
Oh, for sure. But, like...
That's the Fire Emblem fucking Heroes, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, okay, his actual sprite is like, alright, that is a man with long hair. But all of the art of him is just a woman. Like, even his dress has, like, boob energy. So, what is his incarnation in Awakening?
Fucking the Libra.
Libra. Oh my god, Libra's so funny. Somebody pointed out how this guy, like, there was a meme or something about him where it's like, this is a priest who you found in the desert with a bunch of his dead friends holding an axe. Imagine if he was just some guy as a healer walking along and all of his friends just get murdered and he just picks up an axe and he just decides to start going to town on some soldiers. And I'm like, that is now his backstory in my head. Just picks up an axe, just, I'm ready to do some good old-fashioned murdering.
Libra's great.
I like how in Sacred Stones, halfway through the game, you get to split between Erica and Ephraim's stories. Ephraim's story is so freaking hard compared to Erica's that you play the whole game and you're like, wow, that was wholesome. And then you play it with Ephraim's route and they change the main villain, which is awesome. It's the same character, but they completely do a 180 on his personality to rather than being this like tragic villain that you're trying to save, it's fully like, I have orchestrated these events to topple you. I've always hated you.
No.
And
He has not.
What is my mess?
Remember that dating sim I was talking about with Real Time?
Real Time?
The phone one?
Oh, no. Yes,
yeah, no,
I do remember
he hasn't
this.
played it.
I haven't played any dating sim
Besides
other
Hatful
than
Boyfriend.
Fire Emblem Awakening and Hatful Boyfriend. And I guess some other Fire Emblem games.
I have been trying to make him play it, but honestly, it's not a good idea to disrupt my sleep and social life as I did during college when I'm in law school.
That's not true. I did play a little bit of Dream Daddy.
Yes, you did. Yes, junior
Pizza
year
game?
of college, I barely remember. She went after Zen. Zen is a good choice. I mean, 7 is where it's at, but I have not seen Pizza Game. I don't know what that is, to be honest. What is that? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know you went after Yu-Sung. I don't like Yu-Sung. I think he's weird. Wait, yes, I have seen this. Michael just looked up the images. Yes, I have definitely seen this. He's fine. No, he's not. He has problems.
What is this? What is IBS? What? This seems really silly. Alright.
Yeah, I feel like I have seen this. Yes. A little traumatized does not cover it. Irritable bowel syndrome?
Oh.
I helped him through it. Yeah, helped is a word for it. It's not. You enabled him, is what you did. I have problems. I have problems with Yu-Sung, and I have problems with Jumin. Did you eat yet? Rika used to eat. I have severe problems with Jumin, to the fact that I got a bad ending on day 11 of his route, and I will not do it again.
Aww.
Because I think I did the right thing. It's actually kind of messed up. But 7 is fucking great. First, let's be real, I only did the deep endings to get to 7. His theme is the best in the game. You're right. You know what? Let's just switch it up.
Switch it up over to his theme.
Oh, yeah. Hang on, real quick.
Best soundtrack in a game.
No, this is not the right one. That's not his. This is his. Unless this is Jaehee's. Is this Jaehee's? No, this one's Jumin's.
Rakuin's very cute.
Yes, I am really, really enjoying it.
First part was much more sad than the second part. Second part just seemed kind of wholesome.
I feel like this next one's gonna be sad.
I'm not ready.
I feel like Sue's is gonna be really sad. So I'm preparing myself for that. And then my own is probably gonna be real sad. At least I'm assuming it's me, because I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I was gonna play that today, but I was just so tired this week, and we hadn't done one of these where we just like sit here and talk for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a little overdue, so we should do it. And then people had questions, so I was like, might as well. Like, we're not doing anything else. Wait a minute. You didn't finish Remedies.
I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I have like a break period. Yeah. I've mostly just recently been planning for D&D things.
Yeah, because we have a huge fight on Monday.
Yeah.
Huge fight on Monday.
Statting some minions.
It's gonna be bad.
They're fighting 180
We're fighting
terracotta
180
soldiers.
terracotta ice sculptures.
And those are just the ads.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be rough, I'm thinking. Probably. My plan, let me just tell you what my plan is right now. I know that I have been scryed on. So that presumably it's the boss, and she presumably knows where we are. So I'm presuming heavily that she's gonna come through this teleportation circle and try and fuck with us. And I am not gonna let that happen. So knowing that I am probably gonna go first on initiative because I roll with advantage +10, because I'm cool, I am fully holding my action preparing to shoot her in the face. I will take great pleasure in it. It's gonna be awesome, and it's totally impractical and stupid. And we were listening to a D&D podcast on the way somewhere this past weekend, and someone was like, sometimes you just have to think about what you need to do versus what you want to do, and do what you want to do for a change. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do want to completely ignore the 180 terracotta ice sculptures and shoot the boss that may or may not be coming through the portal in the face.
Who knows?
Something's coming through that portal.
Oh yeah.
I am ready to shoot whatever it is. Assuming that I want to shoot it.
So you want to shoot
Which I assume that I will. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure nothing friendly is going to be coming through it. So, might as well just shoot it in the face. And I will be extremely happy about it. Except that I won't get to assassinate, probably.
Oh.
Right?
Sad.
Yeah. I'm not going to get to assassinate her.
No, she's not going to be surprised teleporting into a hostile environment.
I mean, what if she's surprised that I'm conveniently standing right in front of the teleportation circle?
The only ones that will be surprised are the soldiers.
Aww. See, I do so much more damage when they're surprised, but it never happens!
Yeah.
Because my party likes to run into combat. Is the problem.
Do you still want to do a blind Barbie race?
When did that... Which game? Also, when did we talk about that? Yes, of course, but... Is it the horse game? I love the horse game. Can it be the horse game?
The Barbie horse game?
Oh, hell yeah.
My little sister played that.
The Twitter DM era? Okay, well, I don't remember. But yes, absolutely.
Blind as in you're blindfolded?
No.
Oh.
As in we've never played it before.
Oh.
Probably. I don't remember it, if that helps. Like... Yes, definitely. We should do it.
Are you talking about the Wii one?
I don't know. I had one on the computer.
Okay.
Only if we can stop the clock whenever we go back to change her outfit, because it's super important. I need my girl to be styling, no matter the situation. So...
Very important.
We have to stop the clock, have a fashion session, and then restart whenever either of us sees fit. That's my condition. That should be a penalty. We should each get like 3 of those where you have to go back and change your outfit, and then you can start again. That would be funny actually. Or like that's how you get ahead. Like, you force the other one to go back and change,
Alright, go.
completely change your outfit.
You have to wear something different.
I have not finished it following, but I do own it. I got stuck. Like, I'm not good at Splatoon. Let me be real. I'm really bad at it. I love it. Like, I wish I was good at it, but I'm not. And I got stuck. Because some of the missions are really hard. So I couldn't... I got stuck on a couple, and I lost heart and stopped. Who is my Smash main? Joker. That's it. Only Joker. That's the only character. It's just Joker, actually.
I play a lot of different Smash
Yeah, he
characters.
does, and he's really good, too, so it's annoying.
I played a lot of Brawl. I played a lot of Project M. And, like, a lot of it. I played a decent amount of Melee, and I was mostly good at it because I was good at Project M. And,
Okay.
if somebody was like, alright, fight me, I'd probably be good at Young Link, Cloud...
No.
Ryu, Ness, in that order, probably.
No. I don't want to play Smash with you anymore, is why.
Why?
He gets the Jigglypuff, like...
The rest?
Way too often.
Just play a sword character.
Well, did I play as Joker last time against you? I'm not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, try main's Puff.
Yeah, if you're against a Jigglypuff character, just play a character with a sword. And, you know,
I was
obviously-
Marth. I did try playing Marth.
Marth's hard.
I know.
In
Marth is who I played in World of Light
Ultimate,
before you
he's
unlock
not
anyone.
nearly as good as Lucina
And Joker
is.
came out.
Lucina's just better than Marth.
I love Joker a lot. Only Joker. Joker's all that matters.
What makes you like Marth more than Lucina? Because I found that, like, Lucina is in general better because her sword actually does shit, while tippering with Marth is so...
It's hard.
It's not worth it, in my personal experience. That being a melee Marth player.
Also, don't play sword characters. I hate them.
Of course you do, because you're Jigglypuff Man, and you have your hitbox is your face.
There you go, Ty.
Um...
There's your Yusung song. I don't know how loud it is, but there you go.
Ike's fun. Link's fun.
Puff Plants K. Rool.
Okay, King K. Rool, all the heavy characters are so much fun. Ooh, I play Ganondorf.
You play Ganondorf all the time.
I play Ganondorf all the time. I don't know why I didn't bring that one up. I guess
has it been super quiet? Oh, well, whatever.
If I wasn't...
I've been messing with it.
Yeah, if I wasn't, like,
I've been listening
being
to music.
serious, I would
Too
definitely
bad,
play
I've been
Ganondorf.
listening to music. Apparently. Maybe it's because I turned this down, but for me it's super loud. So I assumed it was super loud in there, and there you go. Can you hear it now? Yeah, there it is. Well, also the Mystic Messenger music is pretty quiet, so there's that too. Yeah, for me it was super loud, so I turned it way down. So now you haven't heard any of it. Oh, well, I've been enjoying the Xenoblade soundtrack this entire time, and you all have heard nothing, so, fuck me, I guess. Whatever. It's fine. I'm a professional streamer.
Plants Ball. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, Piranha Plant's a lot of fun, and I respect Piranha Plant players, because you have to really, like, do a bunch of weird shit. And I like that. I like that in a character. I like that about, like, Shulk and, like, Isabelle. I like that about Isabelle a lot, where she's just weird. And, like,
Alright.
Snake.
Any last minute questions? Because I'm getting hungry again and I want to eat the rest of my Chipotle bowl.
Okay.
Also, it's been like 3 hours.
I'm not against Puffmans. No, I've played against Puffmans a lot. I like Jigglypuff. You have to have balls to play Jigglypuff. You have to, like, literally put your body inside their body in order to rest, and I like that a lot. I just have played against a lot of Puffmans. So it's like the type of thing of, you know, you start talking to Jigglypuff and I'm like, alright, kind of want to play Smash Bros. And fight Jigglypuff now.
Twi's actually very good, so... We did a lot of it at MagFest,
I
which
did
I'm sad
play
about.
a tournament. Oh, nice!
I had no idea what happened.
I did play a melee tournament, and I got 4th at my college because I just played Marth. And Marth is just the same as he's always been, in melee at least. I played some PM, and I was the best in my college at PM. And I'm not very good at Smash Ultimate just because I don't play very much. But I did get 3rd in a tournament I had with a group of like 10 or 11 friends, but it's not saying much.
Alright. Any last things? I'm hungry and I'm gonna make you do your reading.
Alright.
Because I kind of forgot that you hadn't finished it.
This
we came home and watched Avatar instead. Boo. Oh shit, we're getting raided.
Oh hey!
No!
Getting
we were just
raided.
about to stop!
What's up?
Hello!
Ah,
An apple a day keeps the white mage alive.
Happy
Fanta.
birthday.
Oh, is it your birthday, Dine? Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. Hey everybody.
Should I sing happy birthday to Dime? And then
sure.
let anyone else ask questions? Because now there's like friggin' more people here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We've just been hanging out, doing nothing,
We've
talking
been
about D&D,
D&D.
Xenoblade, Ace Attorney. We've hit all the highlights tonight. For those of you coming in who don't know me, hi. I'm AceFangirl. This is my boyfriend.
Hi, I'm Michael.
We play a lot of D&D. We play a lot of video games, and we've just been literally hanging out and chatting.
Oh yeah.
It's been great.
So if you have any burning D&D questions, I love talking about D&D.
Here we go again. We're gonna go for another freaking 3 hours talking about D&D.
I love it.
Or video games.
It's my favorite. But happy birthday.
Yeah.
Hope you've had a good birthday today. Hopefully your white mage did not die.
Oh god, here we go again. We've trapped them here.
Haha.
You can leave whenever you want. Social eating stream. No, I'm not gonna eat on stream. I only do that when I have to. And sometimes I have to, but today is not that day. You just finished Skyrim?
Nice.
What do you mean by finished? Do you mean you finished the main quest, or like...
Did you complete everything where you zoom out on the map, it says Skyrim cleared?
Skyrim's great. I need to get back to Skyrim. I need to get back to it. I'm not done. I don't think I finished the main quest. I did a lot of the side quest lines, but I didn't finish the main quest. I'm like halfway through it, I think. I've just been avoiding it.
I don't know who it is.
You did. You did the thing.
Alduin. The Screamy Boy.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Over 8 hours of streaming. You are crazy. Have we watched House Party? Some of it, not all of it, but did you see that the Game Grumps started playing it again? Because it's amazing. I'm so happy about it.
We watched the full original run.
Yeah,
together.
we haven't started the arc with the Game Grumps in it.
Yes.
Yet, but we're gonna eventually. Maybe after we finish Avatar.
8 hours of streaming. What are you streaming? Final Fantasy?
Were you racing?
I guess just.
Wait, were you racing?
White
Was
mage.
that today? I saw you talking about that in the mod channel, but I don't remember if that was today or not. Level 91. Dang, I am like level 50 something, I think.
I feel like level 91's a bit excessive, but
Well, did you do all the side quests first? Because, like, that happens.
I mean, yeah. I've never completed the storyline to any Bethesda game, and I've played almost all of them, except for, like, Morrowind and before. I just don't like doing the main story mission in Bethesda games. I don't know why. I always do side quests. Nothing but.
It's been good.
Okay, alright.
Oh, that's happening tomorrow. Okay.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the sneak grinding will get it for you.
Hey, nice.
Okay, so that's tomorrow. Okay, that's cool. That'll be fun. Is that the multi-world one? Because that's gonna be crazy. Good luck. Not my jam. Apparently, maybe twice jam? I don't know. It's been a day.
Well,
it hasn't really, because I didn't have class today. So, I've been off, but we gotta play randos sometime. Yeah, we do. I gotta get back into doing randos. I do miss them.
I know you do. They're a thing that I
need to
was
make you do
excited to
one.
play. I
Basically
couldn't
an
play the
expert.
original game. The controls are so bad.
Oh, try playing it on a keyboard.
Oh my god, it looks awful. Like, I love the game. I love Ocarina of Time. I've played every single Zelda game except for Wind Waker. I know, that's a sin. And Zelda 2. And I've beaten fully, like, 2/3 of them. But, God, Ocarina of Time, after playing the DS one, it doesn't look good. On the N64 one, it doesn't.
You're not wrong. I've not played Fallout, actually.
Fallout New Vegas, I think, is probably the best one. Fallout
That's what
4
I've heard.
looks really good. I haven't played it yet, but I am sad they got rid of all the dialogue options. Fallout New Vegas is really good, and they added aim-down sights. This minor change made a catastrophically good impact on the game. So, would recommend Fallout New Vegas. I think it holds up. I've went back and I've played it. It's still very fun. Twilight Princess is pretty good.
Yeah, I like Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess takes a while to start.
To start, though. Yes. No, I hate playing the beginning of Twilight Princess.
But the middle part of the game
middle part is great.
Very fun. As soon as you don't have to... As soon as you're allowed to shapeshift at will, solid game.
I agree.
Spirit Tracks is very cute. Yeah, the beginning is slow as hell. Also replaying Twilight Princess. Like,
yeah,
you start it and you're like, wow.
I hate
When
this.
does the game start? This is awful.
Yeah.
You play the first
I think I just need to play it, force myself to do it, and make a save. Like, when the game gets good, and then just keep that.
Do like an LP from there type thing?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, this City in the Sky is so cool.
It's great. I love that part.
Oh, God, and then you have to be a dog. Being a dog is so bad.
Yeah.
Hunting for bugs is the worst. I liked, Spirit Tracks was good, but the other one, I liked Phantom Hourglass a lot. Phantom Hourglass was really fun.
Phantom Hourglass is good.
Oh, you had the follower glitch happen? That sucks.
There's so much pre-dungeon in Twilight Princess. I agree. That's, like, there's so much to do between dungeons.
Yeah.
That it kind of slows it down a little bit.
Yeah. The dungeons themselves are amazing. The Sand Dungeon is one of my favorite dungeons in any game. The boss fight's just rad.
God, that place terrified me.
It's so cool. Let's go over the world, look for alpha stashes for further, send a magic wish. That is what the game feels like.
That is what it feels like. It is. You're right.
One of my I really like the top-down Zeldas a lot, personally. So, like, the Oracle games, so good. I love the Oracle games so much. They were the first ones I played. So, of course, I have a personal connection to them. Minish Cap is so good. Loved it. Just everything was cute about the Minish people and all that stuff. And then what was the game that I really liked? Link Between Worlds was incredible.
That's a great game.
Link Between Worlds, so good. Link's Awakening, super good. Haven't played the new one yet. Link to the Past is hard and punishing.
Yeah,
but gets better the further into the game you get, in my opinion. Like, once you're actually good at the game starts feeling better, which kind of sucks for a Zelda game.
Especially if you're me, who never got good at the game.
Oh. I played the entire thing on an iPad in preparation for Link Between Worlds, and I'm happy I did. Link Between Worlds is probably a game that would not be as good if I hadn't played Link to the Past right before.
I will be honest, Amber, I did the vampire route because I thought Serana was hot and I thought I could marry her. If I got her dad's blessing. It turns out you can't, and I was extremely betrayed by that. It was very upsetting to me. So now I just kind of go back and forth, curing myself. I'm so mad that I can't marry her. Still mad about that, to this day. Shut up, Twy.
She didn't.
I know I never got good at it, but I finished it, and that's all that matters.
Hey,
With the help of my good bee.
Good bee is so good. Did you ever play Link Between Worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I did that before I played Link to the Past.
That game I completely beat all the way through, and then I beat all the way through on Heroic without dying.
Have you played Metroid? Any Metroid games?
I've not played any Metroid games aside from the free DS demo that they gave you with the original DS, Metroid Prime. I want to say it was the one where it's a shooter. It's a first-person shooter. And my brother and I
I'll do it.
played. My brother and I killed the shit out of each other. It was awesome.
Lydia's bae.
Prom Hunters. That was what it was.
I did
That was
not
a
marry
fun
Lydia,
one.
but she's my faithful follower. It's good. Yeah, I've only I'm gonna play more eventually, probably. When I have time. Maybe those will be sub goals. I'm not. Please stop.
Super Metroid?
No.
Yeah, I watched your play.
It was
good.
horrible.
Oh, it was awesome. You
was
you ended
awful.
up getting very good at the game, and it was fun
No, I
watching
did
you.
not.
It's such a cool game for having
I'm the
so
world
many
record holder
secrets.
for like the 8-hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice, good choice. Ale is awesome.
That was awesome. RF5.
Rune Factory? Oh shoot, is the Direct tomorrow? Oh, it is. That's right. There is a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Rune Factory. It's like, I've never played any of them either, so I don't really know how best to describe it. I'm sure someone else could do a way better.
This is just a JRPG? Like,
Yeah, I think so. But it's cute.
You kill the squishy monsters?
What do we think is gonna happen in the Direct tomorrow? It's better Stardew. Harvest Moon meets Legend of Zelda, kind of.
Oh, alright.
It's a
Neat.
partner showcase. What does that mean? I don't remember what that means. Do you think we're gonna get some of the stuff from... Oh, sorry. Someone did something and I don't have the alerts on. So I can't see what that was. So whoever did something, thank you. Hello, Jenny. How are you?
Hello.
We're just sitting, and man, everyone is hanging out after we've been doing this for, to Jenny host, thank you so much. I'm sorry that your dancing Ricky did not appear on the screen because I did not put alerts on, because I didn't think about it, so that's on me. Oh god, what was that now? Hold on. Oh, someone else hosted. Thank you, Amber, for the host. Enjoy your small dancing Ricky. There we go. Yeah, okay, it's probably about time to actually stop this now,
Alright,
because we have
yeah.
work to do. Not that we are gonna start doing any work at 9 p.m., let's be real.
Nope.
I will do work tomorrow,
Tomorrow will be the work day.
even though I have so much class tomorrow.
Eh.
Ugh, gross. Yes, work. So much work. Okay. Final question. What are we getting to eat? Well, we got Chipotle earlier, and I have half my Chipotle bowl left, and I am a heathen and love cold Chipotle.
That's not that surprising.
I don't know. I feel like everyone besides you, who I tell that to, is like, that's weird.
You eat a lot of cold food in general.
That's
so
true, I do.
Doesn't surprise me.
I love cold Chipotle, so it's in my fridge right now, and I'm very excited about it. I'm also very weird about Chipotle, and sometimes I, like, inhale the entire bowl, and the other time I eat half of it, and that's it. Like, it's weird. Okay, yeah, I did see that. That is kind of what I want about the PS4. The Hogwarts game.
Yeah.
It looks
PS5.
really cool. I mean, yeah, PS5, sorry. It looks really cool. It doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't watch the trailer.
This looks decent.
We're looking at the Hogwarts game. Looks awesome. I just like, this is everything I want. With Hogwarts, is that? I'm excited about it.
Oh, lots of cutscenes. That doesn't count.
That's the count.
Yeah, okay. This is what I was more looking for. Actual.
It looks really cool.
It looks interesting.
Oh god, that doesn't look good at all.
That looked genuinely
That looked
awful.
horrible.
What?
Wow, that was awful. I really hope that's not finished.
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad.
Okay, so yeah, it's the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that like a while ago. And I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so I'm excited. I don't know if/when I'll be getting a PS5, but whoa, who the hell is that?
Some bad guy, I guess.
Oh, there's a dragon.
Nice.
Oh no, I don't want the spiders. We're
The
just sitting
issue
here
is-
watching a trailer
yeah,
now.
we are.
This is what my stream has devolved to.
Yeah.
It
But
looks
the downside of just the Harry Potter universe is no one can look cool flinging a wand at somebody.
yeah, I
Like
know.
they have this guy in a skull mask shooting his wand at
I'm still
somebody,
gonna
and
play
like
it.
you can't look cool with the wand. The only cool way to do magic in that world is to fucking just throw a fireball out of your bare open palm. Like otherwise you're just a weenie with a stick.
Look at this trailer we can't see. Well, he has it on his laptop, which is next to my streaming
Here,
laptop.
tell you what, I'll hyperlink the trailer so y'all can share in the share in the wonder. This isn't a very professional stream, guys.
No,
Here's your trailer.
I literally was like, I don't want to set anything up today. I'm lazy.
Behold.
I actually made this decision yesterday when I posted that poll. And if Rockman had won, so then we would have done that, but now I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm an old man with my internet terms, hyperlink. Mostly because I think that's what the hotkey is in Google Docs.
Maybe. He uses Google Docs for everything.
I use
so.
Google Docs for everything.
Okay, I'm giving you 30 seconds to ask last questions, and then I'm literally turning the stream off, and I'm gonna eat food. And, I don't know, do nothing, I guess. Good night, Twy. I know, it's late for you. Go to sleep. I'm glad you had fun. This was pretty fun. So, good night. That's the question. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was super fun. I appreciate you. I'm just gonna end this off because I don't really want to deal with getting a raid message or anything. So, yeah. Y'all should do this more often. Maybe we will. I don't know. I used to do, like, casual, like, singing streams and stuff, like, once a month. So maybe we'll do that now. Gunham, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Hope you had a great birthday. Have a great race tomorrow also. And I think we're good. Replacement for the singing
Aw.
streams. I know.
I like the singing streams.
I did too, but I'm afraid to do music stuff on Twitch now because they're like kind of cracking down on shit.
No.
So, I don't want to push my luck.
You could
Really.
sing the Raquin songs. I'm sure that the
Yeah, I mean,
the
maybe,
singer
but
later
I don't know them
might
yet,
be a-
so. We shall see. I have more singing stuff planned to do on my channel too, but I just haven't done it yet. I have tracks for the next one. I just have not had time. So I need to actually do that at some point probably, but we'll deal with it. Yeah. Okay. Thank
Peace
you guys
out.
for coming. See you. Reminder, there's no stream on Friday because I will be traveling, so no stream. So I will see you a week from today.
Stay safe,
for-
stay frosty.
Probably more Rockwood, but we'll see what happens. Sounds good. Good night.